gun?
No, apparently it was a murder. Shoved out a window.
The door is open.
My condolences and sympathy. He was a good and honorable man.
Thank you for coming on short notice, Fukuzawa. I appreciate it.
Do you mind telling me what you're doing with those papers?
I am organizing them.
Why?
I suspect that the murderer had intended to either steal these specific documents or had intended to destroy them. In order to confirm that, I'm arranging all the papers according to any potential patterns. I believe the motivation for the attack might be discovered somewhere in this room. It's a catalog of clues.
I was told that he was pushed out of this window.
The president. He took me in as a secretary, and I'm indebted to him. Solving the nature of the crime would be the best farewell gift I can offer him. But fortunately, the assassin has already been captured.
Huh?
After murdering the president, he was apprehended by guards on the first floor. He's now being held next door.
What?
The 10 fingerprints the police recovered from the back of the president's clothes is apparently a perfect match to the perpetrator.
Is the murderer still next door?
Seems to have surrendered himself quietly and without any fuss.
I'd like to have a look at this assassin, if you don't mind.
Be my guest. But please, don't touch any of the documents as you walk by.
He's quite an accomplished assassin. Reddish hair and dual pistols. Which means he must be the famous underground child assassin. But if this boy truly is Sakonosuke Oda, how could he be captured by mere security guards?
As you can see, the killer is maintaining his silence. The municipal police should be here soon to take him away. As for you...
Hey there!
Huh?
It's so damn windy outside today, huh? So, anyway, is there any chance we can relocate this company or something? The hills are a pain, and the directions are so complicated.
Pardon?
But our main concern is I'm getting hungry. Do you have any food?
Pardon?
Here we go again, looking down at me like I'm some kid. Fine, never mind the food, just give me the permit. Wait a minute, have you lost it in all these documents? Damn it, you're the secretary, you'd better find it. And don't bore me about finding any fingerprints in this room. I haven't the slightest interest.
What is your major malfunction? Regardless of the circumstances, this is the president's office. Unless you're authorized, you don't have any permission to be in here.
Yeah, but I am authorized, though. I'm here for an interview today, you see.
The president did mention to me that he would be interviewing an administrative trainee today.
Anyway, I just came here for the working permit that I'm supposed to get at the interview. Once I have that, I can get some funding from the government. You mind if I move some of these useless papers?
You may not! The arrangement of these documents is a catalog for determining the assassin's motivations for taking the president's life.
Come on, I've never heard such nonsense in my life. Forget it, I'll find it myself. And don't you worry, I'll be done quick.
Boy, there's a mountain of documents on the floor. How are you planning to find yours?
What do you know, the old man speaks. Unlike all these loose papers, mine's got a heavy stamp on the front of it. Plus, it's printed on thicker paper than the rest of it.
No, no!
Found it.
How could you? Now I have to check every sheet and arrange it all over again. And I still have to report on the missing documents within 48 hours.
Why bother? Nothing's missing. They're all still right here. None of the documents have been stolen, and the assassin you have in the other room didn't kill the president. Like, you're the murderer anyway. Right, Secretary? You're just arranging documents to keep people away, so that you can come up with an alibi. I mean, it would be suspicious if there were fingerprints on the president's clothes, but nowhere else in the room. It seems like the obviously guilty secretary and the obviously innocent assassin are both right here. And you're just standing there like nothing's wrong. Come on, mister, you're slacking on the job.
Fukuzawa, please, do me a favor and kick that kid out now. I can't have him in here making even more of a mess!
The fact is, the assassin's fingerprints were indeed found on the back of the president's clothes. Safe to assume it's from when he was shoved.
There's no way even the best assassin could get close to the president without being noticed. Just look. The door is right in view of his desk. And if the president resisted being pushed, the fingerprints would have meant the president was thrown out the window and not pushed out. If you ask me, the secretary's story has a lot of holes.
You're not factoring in that the president may have happened to be looking out the window.
Looking out an open window by himself on such a windy day?
He's right. Which means it must have been someone close.
It was someone close to him, yet the assassin's fingerprints turned up on the clothes, so those prints were faked. I heard it's pretty easy to fake fingerprints if you wanted to. You just need to make molds of the fingers using putty or something. Every cop knows how to do it. Come to think of it, weren't you a police officer before this job, Mr. Secretary?
This is ridiculous! How would I have taken the assassin's fingerprints beforehand? Fukuzawa, just get this bread out of here right this second!
You were able to get the assassin's fingerprints because you were the one who hired the assassin.
Shut up!
Since you hired him, you could easily entrap a top-tier assassin. Even got the security guards to catch him afterwards. If I had to bet money on it, I don't think the assassin over there ever had a clue he was being entrapped. I'm sure he'd talk if he found out he'd been fooled. Let's ask him.
I have no intention of fighting you.
Don't add more crimes to your guilt. You can get off with a lesser plea if you stop now.
There is no forgiveness in this world. No. The only thing we have is revenge.
Damn you! Quick, call an ambulance. And contact the municipal police.
Pretty sure we don't need the ambulance. The secretary is already dead. Miss, can I get another red bean soup?
Why don't you eat the rice cake?
It's not sweet enough for my palate.
When did you realize the secretary was the murderer?
From the beginning. The secretary was wearing a coat, right? When have you ever seen anyone wearing a coat while sorting documents? Your sleeves would get in the way. He was concealing tools for faking the assassin's fingerprints.
Pretty smart, boy.
My name's not Boy. It's Rampo Edogawa. You'd better remember that.
What about school?
I was enrolled at the police academy, living in the dorms. I had an argument with the dorm supervisor, so I exposed all of their past affairs, and I got kicked out. Since then, I've been bouncing around from place to place. I was a live-in worker at a garrison until I got kicked out. They caught me blabbing about the head chief being totally corrupt.
What about your parents?
They were both killed in an accident. That's why I came out to Yokohama.
Are you finally full now?
I am, thank you.
Good to hear. Well done today.
So that's it? You're talking to a homeless 14-year-old boy who's lost his parents, his job, and his future. That's all you've got? What's that thing?
My contact information. Security police. Basically, my job is bodyguard. Contact me if you're ever in trouble. I'll help you free of charge, the first time or so. Boy, hold up. Hello?
I need help, Mr. Bodyguard. I don't have a job or a place to stay. I'm afraid I'm going to die out here.
I happen to be heading to work right now. Come with me. My client is looking for manpower, so I might be able to broker a deal if you'd like. Does that work for you?
It sure does! A theater?
The manager has been lamenting about a staff shortage. If I can finish my job here, I'm sure that she'd be open to making you a new employee.
What kind of a job?
We have some time until opening. Check the theater for anything suspicious.
Any idea who the threats might be coming from?
The police will do the investigating. Your job is to arrest any attacker who may decide to strike against us.
Not so easy if you don't tell me where the threats are coming from.
Here you are. We received this several days ago. The Angels of Death shall bring true devastation upon the performers of this theater. Signed V.
V?
The performers, huh? So it is the actors who are going to be killed? Ooh. I can't wait to see what happens next.
Who is this child you brought with you?
He's here looking for a job. You previously told me that you needed more people to fill positions for your staff shortage. I'm hoping you can interview him once this situation is resolved.
If that's the case, please send me a resume then. I'll evaluate him with the others.
Huh? Other people signed up for a job too? In that case, I guess there's no chance I'm getting hired then.
I told you I'll evaluate you.
Nope. This theater hag's already decided she's not gonna hire me no matter what.
Theater hag?
You could have just been honest with me. Why don't grown-ups ever say what they're really thinking? Same thing with how you're dealing with this guy. The real reason why you aren't introducing him to the municipal police is because you want him to keep an eye on the police, and have the police keep an eye on him as well. In other words, you don't trust anyone, do you?
Boy, that's enough. I don't care what your intentions are with me or the police. I'm simply going to do my best to prevent a crime from happening. If it's all right with you, I'd like to have a word with the theater staff.
Do whatever you want.
Man, grown-ups are so quick to get angry.
Now I understand why you can never hold on to a job.
Why are you speaking to me right before the show? Don't you know what an actor has to do to prepare for a performance? We dive into another world, and then we become different people. I've trained nearly 6 months for the role of a lifetime in this play. If they mess with me, they're going to be the dead ones, not the actors.
I'll respect your work, but if you don't cooperate, you may end up being murdered. Are you ever alone on stage during the performance?
Yeah. We're defenseless when we're up there on stage. I'm alone for minutes at a time.
Alone where?
Right smack in the center of the stage. Believe it or not, I'm the lead actor.
Huh? You're the lead actor? Tokyo Murakami? Never heard of you.
Who's this brat in my dressing room?
Hey, what's this play about anyway?
You were sent the scripts, weren't you?
Yeah, but that thing was so boring. I gave up after the first page before falling asleep.
Boy.
Huh? So I see. If you think that the script is boring, then I guess it must be boring. But usually it's the audience that gets to decide that.
Have you met Murakami? This play's practically a one-man show for his character. If you want to find out more, he's been meeting a lot with the playwright Kurahashi.
I mean, no one here really believes there's going to be an actual murder tonight, do they? But if someone is going to get hit, it'll probably be Murakami. He's got a lot of women chasing after him. Me? I only have a minor role that no one cares about. Can you imagine an actor so insignificant that I'm not even worth threatening to kill?
Know why this happened?
No, tell me.
Some love affair. Maybe someone in the cast decided to sleep with a crazed fan. Or they broke up and decided to quit the play. I'm sure there's a cast member or two someone wants to kill.
Look, they have potato chips. And the chocolates I missed out on. Hey, mister, I'm getting hungry over here. Are you listening to what I'm saying? I'm dying of starvation, and there's no chance in hell I'm getting that job either. Whatever. Yep, someone's gonna die soon, and this theater's gonna get shut down right quick.
I won't let the murder happen. That's why I was called here. Neither the theater nor the municipal police are taking the threat seriously. Regardless of the motivation of the person or people behind the threat.
It's not a threat. It's a warning. A threat always offers two options, and this one doesn't offer any. A threat is, you better do ABC for me, or I'm gonna do XYZ to you. But right now, all we have is a warning saying we're going to kill one of the performers in your play. So it's not a threat so much as it's really a declaration. From the very beginning, the attacker has not made a single demand of the theater.
When did you come to that realization?
When I heard what the letter said.
When did you realize the secretary was the murderer?
From the beginning.
This boy is interesting. He's able to see the truth in things. If you knew right away, why didn't you say anything?
It simply never occurred to me that a savvy person like yourself would ever misinterpret the warning as a threat.
Are you under the assumption that everyone else has the same superior powers of observation that you do? You notice everything.
None of the documents have been stolen, and the assassin you have in the other room didn't kill the president. The real reason why you aren't introducing him to the municipal police is because you want him to keep an eye on the police.
This boy, he doesn't understand that no one else knows anything compared to him. He's convinced that everyone else already knows the truth, and that most people are simply pretending that they don't know. Tell me, boy, what do you notice about me? You said that you have nowhere to stay tonight.
I don't.
All right, for the time being, you can spend the night at my place.
You mean at your home?
Yeah, but first you have to tell me, what things have you noticed about me so far?
Gee, grown-ups sure do love their quid pro quos, don't they? I've only just met you, so there's not much I can tell about you yet. But I'd say you're in your early 30s. You told me you're a bodyguard, a master of martial arts, very single. You have no co-workers. You're right-handed. You chose a seat by the wall at the restaurant, so you must be a swordsman as well. And just a guess, the reason you don't use your katana for work anymore is because you're ashamed of your last job. What job involving swordplay could you be ashamed of? Come to think of it, there was some buzz about an incident a few years ago. During the peace treaty debates, pro-war bureaucrats and overseas military factions were suddenly found dead, one after another. And back at the gift shop, you were grimacing a little bit as you noticed the headline in the newspaper. Should I keep going, mister?
Silence!
I'm sorry. Are you all right?
Yeah. Just startled is all.
This boy is absolutely the real deal. Boy, help me with this job. If we manage to do well, I'll introduce you to work you're more suited for. Well?
Sounds good to me. I'll do what I can.
The doors will now open. Please make your way inside the theater and take your seats. It has begun. We, angels. We, the many wingless fallen angels who are desecrated, are about to be killed off one by one. Killed off by the true angels in heaven, the pure, sanctified messengers of the Almighty.
How foolish of you. If the executioner were an angel, then they would have no trouble killing us if they chose to do so. They need only play their trumpets. They would have no reason to resort to physical means. This is a serial murder meant to look like an angel's bidding, and it will be carried out by someone here.
The angels of death shall bring true devastation upon the performers of this theater.
Signed V.
Is that not foolish in itself? What could be the reason any of us have for killing one another? What good would it do any of us to kill our own kind like that?
What say you to this, our leader? Speak, leader.
Speak, leader!
Leader!
Is this the punishment given to us? Is this what we fallen angels deserve? Just for adoring humanity? Angels have been sent from the heavens, and they have only one aim. They've been sent to purge us. These angels are called gifted.
Gifted?
We are humans.
Hey, what do they mean by
We are
gifted?
of the
Just
earth.
watch, it'll make sense.
Rejected being angels, choosing to become human. We
Who
dream,
is he?
we love, and
Hey,
seek
can I
fulfillment
ask
is
something?
possible only
The people here in the audience are paying good money to watch this play, aren't they?
Not regret that
Why doesn't anyone get upset at being forced to sit through a show with such an obvious ending?
Hey, stop.
He's the murderer, isn't he? You can tell in the first 5 minutes of this play.
Knock it off right this minute.
Humans are
Why?
ignorant of the supremacy of angels.
Why is everyone watching this play without complaining about the dialogue? It really upsets me. I just don't get why. There's something everyone else gets. There's something everyone else gets, and I just don't. I don't get it. I'm scared. It's like the world is filled with monsters. Monsters that only I don't understand. I'm all alone. I
living in a world of monsters.
Thank you. There will now be a 15-minute intermission. The second act will resume at 6:20. Please be in your seats at 6:15.
Come. Come along with me, and I'll give you the answer that you're looking for. Did your parents ever say anything to you about the special talents you possess?
Special talents? I only wish I had some talent. Then it wouldn't be so hard for me to find work.
You're wrong. You happen to be in possession of a very special talent. You were right earlier. I used to carry a sword on my waist. I was known as the Master of Swords, even within the very ranks of our country's government. My sword was to bring peace to the nation, or so I sincerely believed. That's why I killed. But assassination was far too easy. I only became fearful when I noticed that I was waiting a little too eagerly for my next assassination. I could no longer tell whether I was murdering for my country, or simply for the moment of the kill. That's when I decided I would never wield a sword again. No one else has ever learned about my past occupation. No one else even had a clue except for you. Within the first 5 minutes, you guessed which character in the play is the murderer. I suspect you're the only one who could have discovered the answer as quickly as you did. I wouldn't have known either if I hadn't read the script. Have you ever had a feeling all the people around you are complete fools compared to yourself? That they're all a bunch of idiots walking around without a single clue in life?
All the time.
Then listen to me carefully and remember this. You are special, and all the other people in the world are fools compared to you. And that includes me as well. The reason you feel alone in this world is because you have a special talent that others only dream of.
Special how?
It's a type of ability that needs to be controlled. For years, you pretended your own talent did not exist. And for years, I mindlessly wielded a sword in pursuit of blood. Understand?
Am I the only one who's got this special talent? And if so, how is that even possible? I mean, of all the people in this city, I'm the only one who's special?
The truth is,
I'm waiting.
it's because you're gifted. That's what it comes down to. You have talents because you're gifted, and that makes you special.
Are you being serious?
Your special ability is one that allows you to determine the truth at a single glance. I want you to know, there are numerous people with special gifts in this world. It's because of your special ability that the people around you, at times, appear like monsters to you. That will stop once you learn how to get your ability under control. I'll teach you everything you need to know to do that. With the help of a certain individual, you'll become able to produce your special ability on command.
Interesting.
Here.
I don't need glasses.
These are special. These glasses were handed down to me by a nobleman from Kyoto. When you put them on, your ability will be activated. And the truth of any situation will come to you instantly. And when you take these glasses off, you will no longer be bothered by the foolishness of others. From now on, these are yours.
If you ask me, they just look like a really cheap pair of ordinary glasses.
Correct. I was forced to buy them at a trinket shop. But...
I don't see a difference wearing them.
Now, use those glasses to control your special ability.
Control my special ability?
Yes. Cut open the truth with your special ability and banish evil from the darkness in which it lurks. Gifted detective. From this moment on, you are the world's greatest detective.
Greatest detective?
Hasn't everything become clear to you now? The world is no longer terrifying to you at all. No one seems like a monster to you anymore. Instead, they simply seem far more foolish than you are.
Really, from now on?
You no longer feel like anyone bears ill will toward you. They're just a bunch of stupid idiots, mere children who don't know how to see the world like you do.
Mere children? You mean everyone around me is just a stupid idiot?
That's right.
Just ignorant? So they actually don't know anything at all?
Yes, that's right.
But then...
Rampo Edogawa! The glasses have already accepted you as their master. All that's left is for you to open your mind to the world.
Open my mind to the world? You mean this creepy world we're living in? That time, and that time. All that suffering I went through wasn't because there's something wrong with me, but instead it was because there was something wrong with all the people around me. Is that what that means?
They are all nothing more than clueless children. Would a helpless newborn baby have the knowledge to despise someone?
He's right. No one ever really despised me at all. It was all in my head.
No, wait!
I see now. You're all just a bunch of babies. The world isn't really a creepy place at all. You're all just stupid little idiots who don't know any better. And it's my new job to protect all of you from now on.
Come with me, Rambo.
Hold on, there's something I have to do first. Why don't you head on back to your seat? We still might be able to stop the murder before it happens.
What?
The murderer will follow through with their threat and commit the attack in the second act. We just have to take advantage of that fact.
What are you going on about?
I already see the whole thing playing out. The enemy's goals, their plans, everything they're going to try. So what I want from you is to keep an eye on the audience while I work the case outside.
I can do that, but promise me that you'll be careful.
Don't worry about me. After all, you said it yourself. I'm the world's greatest detective. And I am on a mission.
Forgive us, Halo's Angel of War. Or show yourself here in the human realm. I do not fear you, nor do I fear the death you bring. If you must cast judgment, first pierce my chest. I know what you want. You want me to watch as my friends spite one another with the foulest common to humanity. Isn't that what you're after? But I shall expose you and your sin!
So real.
It doesn't happen like that in the script. See? Real blood. Call an ambulance. Inform the police what happened and lock the theater down immediately.
What's going on?
Is he dead? But where's the weapon? No weapon. This can't be. A murder by an angel. That's impossible.
He's actually dead. It's a real murder.
Stay in your seats. If any of you attempt to flee, you could become a suspect for murder.
So what I want from you is to keep an eye on the audience while I work the case outside.
So the one who tries to flee is the murderer. Where has Rompo disappeared to?
Captain, a member of the audience has disappeared.
What? Pardon me.
Hello, sir. I didn't know you were here. Thank you for your service.
I overheard that someone fled from the audience.
Yes. I'm sure that we handled the lockdown of the theater according to official procedure, but it seems someone's vanished.
Right. What's their description, and which seat were they in?
He was seated in the front row, wearing a light brown suit and a fedora hat. A dignified-looking, middle-aged man. And someone mentioned that they noticed him holding a wooden cane.
It's the man I saw. Did anyone notice the time that the man left his seat?
We have confirmation that he was there when the performance began, but that's all.
I'm going to search the entire building.
Wait, let us help you.
This is my fault. I instigated this. Rumpo's just a boy. He doesn't know how to protect himself. He may be a brilliant detective, even at this level. But if the murderer attacks him in a frenzy, he doesn't stand a chance. He can't activate his ability on his own. I need to become his shield and fend off evil, so he's safe to engage his powers of reasoning. A detective must be armed.
Mr. Fukuzawa.
Sorry, but please make it quick.
I have a message for you from that boy Rompo.
What is it?
Rompo said there were 2 murderers. He said you would know exactly what that means.
The fact is, this crime involves 2 completely different acts. You could think of it like a sea bream and a shrimp. You could be satisfied with the shrimp, which is much easier to catch than a sea bream. After all, shrimp's pretty tasty. But if you want to catch sea bream, well then, you're going to have to use the tasty shrimp you just caught as bait.
That's so convoluted. Do you know where Rompo is right now?
No clue. I suppose he could be anywhere in the building.
Why talk to me when Murakami's already been murdered?
Because Rompo told me the truth about the special abilities you unlocked within him. Tell me, sir, who is that kid anyway? I have no doubt that the boy may be an excellent detective, But is he really gifted the way he says he is? Are his powers all that unique and special?
Why do you want to know?
He told me he's the only one who sees the whole picture. He told me I'm going to solve the whole thing, so get your butt to a seat. Just like that.
I am the Deus Ex Machina in this play, and I'm here to solve the case at the very end of the second act. I'll make it simpler for all your little brains. I'm gifted and a brilliant detective. Anyway, let's get to the part where it's all solved. I was listening when all of you were murmuring about the murder. It seems a lot of you suspect that the Angel really did kill off our leading man. Just so you know, angels do exist. It's you. You, the audience, are in fact the angels. This murder and this play are deeply connected with each other. What this play is all about is a turning of the tides. The tables turn between the angels and humans, and the executioners are the ones executed. There's an empty seat right there. The municipal police think that the gentleman who vanished from that seat is the culprit. However, this story is about a reversal. The power dynamic shifts, and the victim and the attacker swap seats with each other. So the man who left his seat wasn't the attacker. He was actually the victim. And the victim has been here all along, but not in the empty seat. It's the turning of the tide. And thus, the attacker has become the victim. Now, police officers, it's your turn. Relax, he's just unconscious. You don't have to be in such a hurry. Because here's the real elephant in the room. Who is that man from the empty seat? And what reason did someone have to abduct him? Who should we ask? If we knew who the attacker was, we could obviously ask him. But that's not going to help us. There was never a murder to begin with. It's time to show yourself, fallen one. Emerge if you dare.
What?
When did you realize my plan?
From the beginning. When I first met you in the green room, you looked pale to me, and you couldn't stop chugging down a ton of water. That was because you had just had quite a lot of blood drawn. You had to use your own fresh blood to throw off the security police, the municipal police, and the forensic experts. To hide your own pulse, you used that silicone rubber stuff you used for plays. You needed the playwright's cooperation to pull off this trick. Otherwise, someone was bound to catch on. The playwright's your accomplice, right?
That's right. The playwright and I planned it together. We didn't imagine a gifted would be in the audience, especially not a detective.
Not just any detective, the best detective.
I'm just an actor on a stage. I become something that I am not and build a life on stage that doesn't exist in reality, all to carry out my job as an artist of exposing what humanity truly is to an audience. There's something unavoidable when you're trying to dramatize a way of life, and that's death. My ultimate task was to play a real death. To me, it means reaching the pinnacle for an actor. Something no actor before has ever achieved. I am the first ever actor to play death this realistically. My goal was to treat this audience here to something they've never seen before. I have zero regrets. This is how I've chosen to live my life.
Yeah. I think you're amazing. Not many actors could have done what you just did. But there's more to it. Take a good look at your audience. Look at their faces. Every single person here in this theater today has two things in common. One is that they all came here specifically to see your play. And the second is that they feel they've witnessed a person's actual death up close. I'm not really sure, but does forcing an audience to express so much terror really count as you finally reaching the pinnacle of the acting profession?
I see. I was doing all this, not for the audience, but for myself.
Rompo.
These glasses are awesome. Thanks for giving them to me.
Yeah, well, about those glasses.
With these glasses, combined with all my special abilities, I'm going to be unstoppable as a detective.
Thank you, sirs. Exemplary work. Ever since I saw you today, security policeman, I was convinced right away that you would solve the case eventually. However, I never would have thought that you'd have such a secret weapon by your side.
Yeah, well, about that.
It would be a real thrill to me and the rest of the municipal police to have you explain the resolution of...
We still don't have any confirmation that they arrived at the station yet.
Nor can we connect to the police radio in the vehicle.
The playwright was murdered. Judging from what Rampo told Joshi Igawa, this case isn't over yet.
The fact is, this crime involves two completely different acts. You could think of it like a sea bream and a shrimp.
The real perpetrator's still on the loose.
You could be satisfied with the shrimp, which is much easier to catch than the sea bream.
He must be talking about the actor Murakami.
But if you decide you want to catch the sea bream, well then, you're going to have to use the shrimp you caught as bait.
So the true perpetrator is plotting an even larger crime, using the actor Murakami and the playwright Kurohashi. Rampo is intent on exposing that perpetrator. What was the name of the officer who went to the station with Rampo?
Senior Officer Mitamura. We tried calling him. His phone's been switched off.
What in the world has happened to Rampo? Where could he have taken him? My card.
I will see you later for sure. Yes, yes, yes!
That must be when he put...
Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. To think that we didn't have a single bit of information on such an exceptional gifted on our research list. Officially, this place is an office for a shipbuilding firm. But in reality, it's what people refer to as a shell company. Anyway, have a seat.
A gun, huh?
Oh. Don't worry, I have no intention of using it. As long as you behave and do as I say.
Is that the man's cane? Could be a concealed weapon. Damn. That was some gentleman.
Have you changed your mind?
No, but I do have a request.
Well, where are we, exactly?
I already told you. This is one of our outposts. It's a convenient place to chat.
Our outposts?
I don't mean the municipal police, of course.
There are 4 career soldiers with guns standing guard outside. No. There are 5 guards.
Magnificent. How did you know that?
Because that's my special ability.
Listen, those men don't have the slightest intention of harming you. I didn't even bring them here to guard you, to be perfectly honest. Those men were assigned to keep an eye on my original target. The gentleman with a cane who you managed to reveal on stage.
And the gentleman who managed to get away. So then, why did you bring me here?
I'm sure you'll agree that the plot of the theater was pretty elaborate. The brass is furious that their deep investment has been ruined. They're insisting I catch the guy who messed up all their careful plans. Make him tell me how he saw through the scheme and explain where he got his information from. Otherwise, we'll be forced to follow our orders to hurt you. Even though I disagree with that kind of decision. You wouldn't want that either, would you? So I have a proposal for you, Mr. World's greatest gifted detective. How would you like to work with us instead of against us? We have a vision for our country. A plan to rid this nation of evil people once and for all. An excellent gifted such as yourself would be more than welcome to join us. What do you think?
Oh, sorry. You were rambling for so long I tuned out. I guess I stopped listening.
How do you like your jail cell?
Not bad. There's air conditioning. I told them I was bored, so they gave me this book to read. I guess it's their way of telling me to repent.
I'm here with a question. Would you mind looking at this? This is a memory device employed by a certain government agency. A device used by those in the Witness Protection Program. It allows participants to communicate with their agents. Only high-priority people targeted by crime organizations would have one. They would also have one other thing in common. They're all gifted. I'm sure someone as capable as you would have taken on external clients from time to time. Have you accepted any requests to capture a gifted recently?
You know well that I can't talk about my clients.
Then let's forget I used that word. Have you heard anything recently? Perhaps you may have come across some talk about a contract regarding a gifted being captured alive. The request may have been made by someone who calls themselves V.
I really don't want to talk about them. Do you know why they're doing it?
No.
For their cause. Killing for money, or killing out of spite, those reasons make sense to me. But to them, the killing itself is their great cause. I don't want to get involved with those types. If you're killing people for a cause, it doesn't matter who you kill. Only the act itself is important. The kill is the ultimate achievement.
I'm not asking you or ordering you to fight them, but they abducted an acquaintance of mine. Do you know where they might be holding him?
I don't have any reason to tell you.
You're absolutely right. But if you do tell me, I'll testify in open court that you fired the gun in self-defense, and that you killed him by accident, that the secretary was the one who attacked you first.
Huh?
They'll let you out of jail immediately.
I'm surprised. You don't look the type. You don't fit the description of the kind of person who would readily sell out on the justice system like that.
I didn't think I was either.
Let me tell you something. As a hired killer, I always thought it was best to work on my own. I never wanted any coworkers or superiors. But if a skilled martial artist such as yourself would go against your principles just to save your subordinate, he's lucky to have you as a superior and coworker. I actually envy him a little.
No, he isn't a subordinate.
I've heard rumors about several buildings they like to use for their transactions.
Do we have an agreement or not?
I could escape out of here at any point if I wanted to. The reward you're promising isn't quite worth it to me. However, the food at this facility is god-awful. If you happen to have any sway around here with the kitchen staff, would you mind talking to them for me?
Have any special requests?
Curry rice.
Listen up, great detective. Our organization is formidable and flawless. It would be far more rewarding to join us than to team up with that dumb bodyguard boss of yours.
Moo! Look, pal, I have a hard time paying attention to things I have no interest in. It just sounds to me like cattle mooing all the time. Moo! Moo! See?
You're extremely fortunate that I'm the one you're negotiating with. Anyone else might have started sawing you apart from your toenails up to your eyebrows by now.
He's mooing again. Moo! Moo!
Looks like we'll have to use this to move the conversation forward. You can use your gift to see through the truth. Big deal. You're still too feeble to stop a single bullet from going through you. I only gave you my precious time for the sake of our organization's grand objective. We'll wipe out the gifted rotting this country's values, starting with you if you don't get smart fast.
Okay, now I see. V is an organization of gifted individuals brought together to drive out other gifted individuals. Wait, give a guy a second, would you? By my calculations, you have 3 seconds. 2. 1.
I took out one of the guards outside. Just how many more are there?
4 more.
more guard. Are you all right?
Yeah, sure. Wow, that went better than I expected. You arrived just in time, just as I...
Screw you! To hell with your damn calculations! When I got here, there was a gun pointed right at your face!
That happened only because I knew you'd save me.
Showing off your abilities is fine. Using your intellect against powerful enemies is good. But I want you to stop wagering your own life on your stupid, risky gambles. You're still just a child with a lot more to learn.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm 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 sorry.
Looks like Officer Minamura was murdered while in custody.
It seems he's been silenced.
So I guess the plot continues for this complicated crime. But who is the perpetrator of the last incident? I mean, V has to be behind this, right?
Except it's not V. It is 5. Remember your Roman numerals.
Oh.
What is it?
Oh. I was just thinking about the cityscape. How it looks different than it did yesterday. Do you think so too?
It's because you understand now.
Listen, I'm here to help get you out of here. Are you listening to me, Kunikita?
Don't mind me, Rampo. It's only right for a suspect to be detained.
Yeah, but you're a suspect in a murder case. It was the girl who set off the grenades with her own hands. That's your claim, right? But there are no witnesses, and all evidence was destroyed by the enemy. They even went to the trouble of using the same grenades the agency uses. It's obvious to me you've been framed. Part of an operation by the rats. Plus, a convenient way to harass us.
But
Are you going to let them charge you because of a guilty conscience? I don't care about your inner conflict. I'm here to make sure you're found innocent. The rats must have someone on their payroll who specializes in destroying evidence. We'll find him. And no one's going to stop us either. Not the agency, not even the boss.
Rampo, why do all this?
Because it's my fault. If I'd seen through that demon Fyodor's trap earlier, the girl wouldn't have died.
Challenging. Anything that torments the grand intellect of one such as myself is someone to be feared for sure. Still, I shall be the first one to solve this stupefying mystification of the Valries! Huh?
Hey there, Poe. What a coincidence.
Rampo?
What you doing here anyway? Oh, waiting for someone, huh?
He figured me out. If you must know, I recently won something in an auction, and I'm here to retrieve it. And what brings you here, Rampo? And by the way, why are you dressed like that?
Finally, I was wondering if anyone was ever gonna notice. After I went against the boss's orders during the cannibalism incident, he forced me to work as the mascot of the company, so I ran away. Anyway, it's really good seeing a friendly face here. Give me a hand with this. Oh, yeah.
Quit that nonsense, Rampo! I'm supposed to be meeting someone here! Oh, my raccoon is under here biting me! I see. So you think this enemy evidence destroyer will be showing up at this observation deck any minute now?
Yep. Then wouldn't it be better if you helped me spot them?
It would, but he knows who I am. And soon you'll know that the evidence destroyer is Fyodor's ally and right-hand man.
An expert in information manipulation.
I really should be attending to my prior arrangements. But as always, I have a hard time saying no to Rampo.
The only info we have on the evidence destroyer is the photo I gave you.
Oh. Looks like the type of man who wouldn't have many friends.
Yeah, I don't think you're one to talk.
Tell me, though, what made you suspect he'll show up on the observation deck at this time?
A gifted that we captured fessed up. Then again,
He did seem like a skeevy, lying little grunt.
the intel might be bogus.
I've been here for some time, and he still hasn't shown up yet.
I'm getting pretty bored waiting around. Tell me a funny story, will you?
How terrible a demand! Oh, how about I tell you about the mystery I've been working on? Everyone in town's been obsessed with it. The common theory is, of course...
Shut up! A mystery? You know what? I'd rather go home and play with the kids in the neighborhood.
Not this one.
This author is, in fact, the actual murder victim. And he was killed in the exact same way he described the murder to be in his novel. The first 3 chapters of the novel were originally published in a magazine. The author died right after he finished the manuscript for the 4th and final chapter. And then the murderer stole that final chapter and fled from the crime scene. Why, do you think?
Well, he did it because the truth and trick behind the murder was resolved in that 4th chapter. Right.
The victim was a mystery novelist using the pen name Kindaichi. He was a well-known, talented author, so his death set the public astir. The entire industry pored over the first 3 chapters, but the mystery continues to be unresolved. I'm working on it myself, but it's proving to be quite the difficult challenge. Rampo, you're here!
Don't you have anything better to do than this?
Aren't you supposed to wait on another floor?
I'm pissed he hasn't shown, so I came up with a way to blow off steam. I'm going to guess who murdered the author while we wait around.
What? Just like that, huh?
We'll know who did it by tomorrow either way.
Tomorrow? But how?
The murderer had 2 motives, revenge and money. The murderer was told about what happens in the 4th and final chapter, which means they were pretty close to the victim. That's what triggered the murder. So why'd he kill him right after he finished writing the ending? Because he'd been waiting for him to. The more the public became fascinated by the author's murder, the more valuable the manuscript became. And he was planning on selling it.
He wasn't necessarily going to sell it.
Of course he was. In fact, he already has.
To whom?
To you. Your assistant, who was sworn to secrecy, told me so. By the way, it's dangerous to bring a wild animal to a crowded area. But I guess you had to bring him so the stranger you're meeting would recognize you. You said look for a man with a raccoon on his shoulder. Plus you mentioned an auction. The best place to sell the stolen 4th chapter would be an underground auction. Do you want me to keep going?
I was hoping to solve the crime all by myself. But if the police bought the manuscript, the truth would come out in the newspapers before I had a chance to solve it.
Turn over that evidence to the police, and they'll give you a letter of appreciation.
That's what I'll do, then. After all, I only spent a mere 20 million to buy it. Why the look of excruciating shock, Rampo? Master Architect is the 3rd highest rank in the guild. By tomorrow, I won't even remember I spent such an amount.
What? Are you mental or something?
But I got to see your rare, exasperated face, so it was well worth the money. Now then, I shall have to finish the transaction I came here for. I was told it would be given to me by someone in possession of a bright red envelope.
Gee, a bright red envelope, huh? Like that one?
Oh, when did that get there? Did you see that man's face just now? The evidence destroyer!
Well, I'll be damned. How do you like that? Turns out this is a good mystery.
Oh, I hope so. Dead on impact. Do you think it's possible this was a suicide, or was he silenced by the rats?
Get back! Municipal police! Huh? It's you two?
Hi!
Hey, Rampo!
Minora!
Stop tickling me! Get off of me! I'll arrest you!
Say uncle and I win!
Please help me, Nora, before he passes out.
Why did Rampo suddenly become so excited when you arrived?
I don't know.
Because the police arrived so quickly after the fall. In fact, the police arrived just as we rushed to the street from the observation deck above. But why?
Because the perpetrator called them himself, ahead of time, to have the municipal police close off the area, so I wouldn't have time to check out the body myself.
So it wasn't a suicide, but something the rats did to silence this man from talking?
Actually, it's neither. Look at this.
So what of it? It's the victim's shoe.
It came off as he was falling to the ground. He had it on when we saw him through the window.
You observed that in the split second as he fell?
Judging by how worn out the sole is, he should have been wearing this particular pair of shoes for quite a long time. It should not have come off so easily in midair.
I see now!
Then explain it to me, would you?
So you see, the shoes the victim was wearing don't actually belong to him. He was just forced to put them on right before he was pushed. Rompo knew this because he already knows what the man's footprint looks like.
I had been to their hideout in the abandoned mines to look for leads on the evidence destroyer. Needless to say, I took note of all the footprints on the ground.
So what about this shoe?
I saw it too, of course.
So that face was simply a forgery connected to a fishing line?
That's right. They smashed the victim's face in, and then they placed the kind of prosthetic mask they use in the movies on top of it. Then they attached the fishing line directly to the mask, and adjusted its length so it would be seen on his way down. Once the victim hit the ground, there'd be no way of knowing that his face had been smashed in ahead of time.
So then,
the evidence destroyer shoved the victim down to cover his tracks. And so, I just need to use these to determine his whereabouts, and it's over.
What is he? Some kind of freak? I went to that underground auction to fund my escape and throw the detective agency off my trail. With one shoe, he blew my whole scheme. Just forging that mask was a ton of work. This situation... It's exactly as I planned! Behold! Even the Demon of the North would tremble at my special ability. No defeat, Detective! Your insights are inadequate! Special ability! The perfect crime!
Time for the ultra detection ability to instantly reveal the real truth!
You that younger detective's fanboy or something?
No, I'm his rival!
I just don't know.
Huh? What'd you just say?
I can't figure it out at all.
Silly detectives. Nothing but wretched hyenas. You'll never catch me in a million years. For my special ability is the ability to erase the evidence of any crime, especially the ones I commit. The gates of heaven are closed and are never to be opened again. For I am the ultimate detective killer. His co-worker's innocence will never be proven. And he'll never be able to explain the reason why. Fyodor let me capture him.
Pleasant greetings to you, Mushitaro.
And who are you supposed to be?
The man who's going to free you from imprisonment. A crime organization locked you up, so they can continue to make money off your fantastic ability to erase all evidence of a crime. Until today, that is. The cost for your freedom is rather modest. We'd only like you to cooperate with our operation just this one time.
Between a tyrant and a demon, I would rather make a pact with the demon. I guess that's simply the way I'm wired. So yes, I'll accept your offer. However, I have a few conditions. Number one, no matter what, I will never appear in public. I will only use my special ability. Second, prepare a desk for my work. Even better if you can supply books on mysticism and ancient alchemy. Thirdly, serve my meals on porcelain or silver. And my clothes are always to be laundered using starch.
That's all fine. Anything else?
Yes. And this is the most important condition. Once the operation is completed, I'll need to flee overseas. This is to ensure I evade the organization. My escape must happen 1 week later.
Why wait a whole week? I could arrange to have you leave a day after.
There's unfinished business I have left. A promise of death and crime. There's a man I need to see. And in 1 week's time, after we're done, I'll kill him.
Poor Rambo. He hasn't said a single word since he started staring at the victim's body.
Yeah. He'd normally be laughing out loud, pointing out the murderer.
His great ability as a detective is the very backbone of his body and soul. To have that backbone broken, I'm afraid he may never walk again. Rambo, don't be so hard on him.
Time to give up.
Huh?
Okay, I'm going back to the office now. You can deal with this mess.
But Rambo, wait.
My victory is set in stone. The photo of me the agency has is from before I changed my face in the organization, which means there's no way they'll ever recognize me. Killing is as easy for me as someone else bending a finger. Even the other day, when I killed that feeble-minded mystery writer.
Mushi, you know what? My goal is to write the ultimate mystery novel one day.
Kneel before me, detectives, for I'm the true king of crime! There's no one on Earth who can force me to repent or admit to any of my masterful crimes!
Hey there, got a minute?
The detective? Why is he here? Is he on to me? Impossible.
Do you know where I can catch a taxi around here?
What? A taxi?
Yeah, I was gonna take a taxi cab back to the office. But the police blocked off the main street for an accident. And I've had no luck at all finding a taxi anywhere on these back streets. And you're the only person I've seen who I can ask.
Does he recognize me? Does he know who I really am? He's not lying when he says the main road's closed. This is the only place to find a taxi. How comical. The detective, on his way back to the office after giving up on a case, strikes up a conversation with the perpetrator. Sorry, but I can't think of any taxi stands around here.
Fine, I'll just wait right here then.
He's waiting here? But I'm supposed to be meeting my ride here. He's going to end up seeing the vehicle I drive away in. For a crime to be perfect, not a single loose thread may be left untied. There's a train station about a 5-minute walk from here. Let me draw a map for
No
you.
thanks, I'm not in the mood to walk today.
Okay, how about this? There's a bus station right around the corner that'll take you over to the train station. Make a right in the corner.
No buses, no trains, too much work. Also, I've never been on one, so I don't know how to ride the train.
What are you, in grade school?
I know. Since I don't want to walk, how about you give me a piggyback ride back to my office?
That's no request to make of another human being.
Well, I've made the newbie at the office do it a few times.
I'm afraid that I've gotten involved in a conversation with someone that I really shouldn't have.
Hello, Mr. Mushitaro. I'll be your driver today.
Of all the times to be early. Sorry, but I have to be off now to a business engagement. Good luck finding a cab. Mr.
Rampo.
Oh, Mr. Rampo. Have a nice rest of your day. He's seen my car, just what I didn't want. Well, whatever. It shouldn't be a problem.
Driver to the detective agency.
What?
Good?
What are you doing in here? This is a company car provided for me!
It's hot in here. Turn on the AC.
Are you listening?
I have a good idea. I'll pay you what a cab ride costs if you let me share the car with you. Plus, I can hook you up with some work if you ever need a job.
No! Great, thanks. Appreciate it. What do you expect me to do? It's not like I want him here either. Alas, I can't let this lucky detective get any closer to the truth just because he happened to stumble across me. Driver, please take him to the train station. I'm sure that you can find a taxi you can take from there.
Yay!
Say, what is it you do there at the detective agency?
Oh, well, I'm a detective.
I see. You must experience some gruesome situations in your line of work. Such a foreign world to me as far as I'm concerned.
I just have one lead on a current murderer. He swapped shoes with his recent victim, so whoever he is, his shoes are too small for him right now. I only just realized why this case has been so difficult for me to solve. The murderer is gifted with a rare ability to alter reality of sorts.
He's already figured out that much?
My skills as detective are all about technique. Because it isn't a power, I couldn't stand a chance against a reality-altering special ability.
Exactly.
But I managed to figure it out anyway.
No, impossible!
Are you interested in how?
That would make for great entertainment while we ride. Think that I'd get to hear how a detective I just met solved a crime involving a gifted.
All right, I'll explain it to you as thanks for the ride. A bright red envelope is the key to the whole thing. I was chasing an evidence destroyer who wanted me to believe that he was dead. He had already taken notice of my friend Edgar Allan Poe. Poe arranged to buy the manuscript of a dead author. The instant we grabbed the red envelope, the evidence destroyer pushed a double off the roof of the building. All for the purpose of showcasing that one moment to us.
Hey, Rompo's rival. What are you doing now?
I am speed reading the manuscript, of course. There might be something in here that could help Rompo solve the crime.
Detective Minora, what exactly is the case of the mystery writer murder that everyone seems to be talking about?
What, you really don't know? The body was discovered by the manager of an inn.
Huh? Is this some kind of doll?
The doll was carrying 2 dismembered human ears. The author wrote exceptional detective novels. He was found murdered at the inn where he had been staying long-term to finish his latest book. The biggest mystery of this case is that the conditions around the murder resembled the murder depicted in the novel he happened to be working on. And now you have the entire gist of the current infamous case, the killing of King Daichi.
Blast! I've discovered nothing new! I had thought I might find out who had stolen the manuscript if I read the last chapter, but the murderer was an old acquaintance of the victims, motivated by years of pent-up anger. It's exactly as Rompo had deduced. The word end on the last page is smudged. Are these water droplets? No. Looking at it more carefully, it's not a handwritten manuscript. It's just a copy of the original. Why, though?
Well?
What the hell's that sound?
Everybody relax, it's just my cell phone.
Then why were you freaking out about it?
Because I don't receive phone calls very often. Huh? What's this?
The evidence destroyer and the murderer are the same person. Don't you think that sounds like a bit of a stretch, my detective friend? It wouldn't be hard for someone other than the murderer to obtain the manuscript themselves.
Yes, but I have evidence. This is the original manuscript.
What's he doing with the original manuscript?
From the look on your face, it seems you recognize it. It was folded like this and hidden away, but I still managed to find it. It was in the observation deck's second-floor gift shop. You see, I checked inside the bright red envelope as soon as I got my hands on it. And for some reason, only the last page was a photocopy. Why? To keep the original themselves? No, sir, because then they would have just copied all the pages. And at that point, I realized maybe they had to print it out in a hurry, right before it was supposed to be handed off. So, I checked out a stationery shop nearby. And just as I expected, it was the same exact paper. So the attacker had rushed to swap out the original with the copy. But why do that? If the content was an issue, just throw away that page. But they didn't do that because there was a specific reason to hand over all the original pages. And then if that's the case, the last page of the manuscript wouldn't have been thrown out. But they couldn't risk being searched, so they hid it somewhere.
And so you found the hidden last page from the original manuscript?
As soon as I found it, I became certain that the same person was behind both incidents. By the way, I never got your name.
It's Mushitaro Oguri.
Thank you very much. I now have all the information I need to solve this case. Considering you're the killer and the one who stole the manuscript. Isn't that right, Mushitaro Oguri? Well, what do we have here?
There are 3 types of passengers that I can't stand. Passengers that talk too much, passengers that tend to cause me trouble, and passengers that don't pay me what they owe me. Anything to say for yourself?
I'm all talked out. I bet he has a lot to say, though.
Would you please put that gun away, driver? Don't give the detective any excuses. There's no direct evidence that leads to our arrest. He has no grounds to even charge us with suspicion. That is, unless you threaten him with a loaded gun in plain sight.
He doesn't need excuses when I've got a gun to his head. Get out of the car now. I don't want to get my upholstery dirty.
Guns are fascinating, aren't they? For some reason, the moment you have one, you turn into an idiot. Sorry to tell you, but I set you up for this exact scenario.
Drop the gun! Rompo!
While we chatted, I kept a call going with Poe's cell phone.
An anticlimactic end to the criminals of the century. I'll put you both in the same cell so you can compare notes.
I'd like to see you try. I'm an official diplomat in a car with foreign service plates. We have diplomatic immunity from any and all criminal laws in this country, so you can't arrest us. If you have any questions, you can take it up with the embassy.
Still, a murder charge should strip you of your privileges as a diplomat, which don't cover carrying a loaded weapon anyway.
It's not loaded. Check for yourself. Plus, I can invoke an impossibility defense. And as far as my unloaded pistol goes, your country granted me the right to carry it.
So the gun was an empty threat. Fyodor taught you that trick, didn't he? You're free to go.
No, wait!
So long, Rompo. Please give my regards to your co-worker in prison for me. There's foreign text showing on this phone. This phone is...
Mushitaro, you win.
There's something that I've known all along. Ordinary people aren't capable of defeating gifted. Nevertheless, I'm going to defeat you. For one reason. My co-workers think I'm invincible.
Impossible! A special ability! I was certain that he wasn't a gifted. So dark. What just happened? I can't see a thing. I can't breathe. Someone's hands are choking me. No. It's... How could you just kill me the way you did? Yokomizo. What the hell is going on? This is the inn where Yokomizo was murdered. But how is this possible? No. Why? I despise you. I despise you so much. You're not him. This isn't it, Yokomizo.
That's correct. This isn't reality. Reality looks like this.
I see now. This is all the doing of one of the guild's gifted. We're inside Poe's novel.
That's correct again. I sent out a message to Poe, instructing him to reproduce the scene of the murder.
That accounts for the phone. I was wondering what that text was.
You said earlier, this isn't it, Yokomizo. You seem to be well acquainted with the victim.
Do you really think you've caught me with such a measly trap? As I said before, what you need is evidence. All your suspicions and deductions mean nothing without something definite. On top of that, you've let your guard down and made quite a critical mistake.
A mistake?
It was very sloppy. I read Poe's gifted profile. His special ability allows him to trap someone in his own mystery story until the mystery is solved. But this mystery is the scene of the killing of Kindaichi. If I declare the facts I already know, I can immediately return to my car in the real world. In other words, you can't capture me in this imagined space using Poe's ability.
I imagine you're right, but you still won't leave here. Because once you finish hearing what I have to say to you, you'll turn yourself in. The killing of Kindaichi doesn't work if the author reveals the gimmick to anyone other than the murderer. That means the murderer had to have been unique. Which is why at one point, I deduced that the motive was a personal grudge. But this is so much worse than that. To leave your escape as an afterthought to the murder, it's practically self-destruction. There are only two motivations for driving a person to self-destruction. Insanity and duty.
Take your pick, Yokomizo. Stabbing, poisoning, strangling, or beating. How would you like to die?
I'd have to say stabbing. Poisoning would require the reader to have a knowledge of chemistry, and it wouldn't be fair to assume so much.
Sometimes I think you're a filthy little hack. No one's talking about the murder in your new novel. I'm talking about killing you.
Oh, come on now. Stop. But seriously, give me some new murder ideas. I'm not going to make my deadline this month.
Here we go again. Mystery novels are just insider games that are bound by external rules imposed by the author. Dying messages, various gimmicks, enclosed spaces, they're completely detached from reality. You want puzzles? Go solve a math equation or something.
Your distaste for mystery novels hasn't changed since back when we were in school together.
It's all your fault that I hate them in the first place.
I do understand what you're getting at, though. Meta-mysteries, anti-mysteries. No matter how unique a mystery you put out into the literary world, the next moment it's just shoved into one category or another by the bookstores. I believe that the ultimate mystery novel will never come to exist. Anyway, it's been a long time since I've gotten to talk shop with you, and I guess I couldn't help but spill the beans.
You always change the subject before a debate is over. No wonder you've never had any real friends, not even way back at school.
You're one to talk when you don't even have any real friends either.
That's right. I killed him. I choked him to death with these two hands. Bloodlust and madness in my mind. So, what now? The suspect confessed to his crime. There's nothing you can do about it.
Except you never killed him. In the novel's final chapter, the motive was described to be a personal grudge. Now that doesn't make sense to you, does it? If you were the one who killed him, not only would you have copied the plot gimmick, but the motive as well. It's just too perfect an ending. Almost like a movie script, with no loose ends. The killing of Kindaichi was a comedy that he both wrote and starred in. The fact of the matter is, he killed himself. What a stupid ending it turned out to be. But it was highly effective. Even people who don't read mystery novels became obsessed with the case and worked to solve it. A one-of-a-kind mystery novel, uncategorizable to any other book in the genre. That's what he accomplished. A mystery that leaks into the real world.
I hate having to live with regret. That's why I've always insisted on doing everything my own way. So far, I'm satisfied with all the decisions I've made in my life. But now, I find that the sands of time are beginning to run out for me.
May I ask, are your stomach problems interfering with your work?
There's a malignant tumor in my gut. I have a year at best. Before that happens, I'm determined to complete the ultimate mystery novel. I've already finished with my preparations, all except the key piece to the puzzle.
And what key piece is that?
I need a murderer. It would all be for nothing if it gets out that I'd done this myself prematurely. To avoid that, I need a real-life murderer who has actual motives and intent behind them. I would like for you to be my murderer.
You caught me red-handed! You nailed it this time, Detective! I am indeed the role of the unhinged murderer in the novel. Of course I agreed. I get to kill the man I truly despise! On top of that, I get the money for selling the manuscript on the underground. Why would I ever refuse such a request? I'm guilty of killing a dying man!
There's still one question. Why'd you hide the last page of the manuscript? Not only that, but some of the words are smudged here. Including the word end, which means it was smudged after the manuscript was completed. So who made the smudges, and when did it occur? The stain happened during the crime or right after? The smudges mark the page in reverse order of their completion. What I'm telling you is the final page was placed on top of the manuscript and not at the bottom. When you think of it that way, everything makes a lot more sense.
Stop it now.
There was a source of water at the scene of the crime used to smudge. And the reason the attacker frantically tried to replace the original with a copy. When you put it all together, there can only be one explanation.
Thank you, Mushitaro, for taking this on. You are truly my only friend. Goodbye.
Tears. The perpetrator was crying as he strangled the victim. So if it wasn't motivated by a personal grudge, all the assumptions about the gimmick are reversed. If the victim was an accomplice to the crime, the act of solving the crime is pointless. It isn't even a mystery, let alone the ultimate mystery novel. You realized as much just before you delivered the manuscript. That's why you replaced it with a photocopy. So you could fulfill your friend's final wish.
You still have no proof.
You're right. Forensics could have determined they were tears, but they couldn't determine whose tears they were. Still, it would be enough just to publicize the true story behind this manuscript. It might have been a suicide. It might have been a farce. It might be pointless to try to solve it. As soon as the readers would start to think that way, the value of taking on the challenge would plummet. and your friend's final wish would be muddied forever. The detective agency was once defeated by Fyodor. We won't lose again. I will never allow you to hurt anyone in the agency.
What is this?
To that end, I memorized and assimilated the very demon himself. If you don't turn yourself in, I'll go public with my hypothesis. This isn't detective work. I'm using a demonic mind control method. Let me introduce you to my new weapon for killing detective killers.
No. I can't allow that. Please don't make it public. I despise Yoko Miso. After what I did, I must despise him. I'll turn myself in.
Yeah, I see. All right. We have evidence that the type of grenades used by the detective agency were stolen in transport. That makes it very likely that they were used in the murder case of that little girl.
I guess he finally released his special ability. Kunikita should be released from jail immediately.
Rampo. About the demi-corpse thrown from the building, there wasn't any biological activity detected in his facial wound.
Oh. I bet Fyodor gave Mushitaro that corpse to use as a decoy. I highly doubt he's ever actually killed anyone other than the mystery writer.
Rampo?
I don't want to bother throwing it out. You can have it.
What is it? You're giving me an employee ID?
The company's a front for a secret anti-government organization. An undercover agent from the Gifted Operations Division is working there and is about to have their cover blown wide open. I want you to go help them.
But why are you asking me to do this?
That undercover agent is also in charge of hiring at the division. To tell you the truth, I couldn't care less what happens to the undercover agent. But if they learn about your powerful ability, they'll be obliged to hire you on the spot. Go show them what you can do.
But tell me first. Rampo, what are you...
I promised, didn't I? Said I'd hook you up with work, if you ever needed it.
Mushi, I bet you'd laugh at me for this. For trying to master mystery novels, even if it means sacrificing myself. But when you go down that path, you realize there really is nothing that lasts forever.
Huh? Where did my lighter go?
In which case, it's up to you to choose. Choose what you consider valuable in your life. After all, the greatest luxury afforded to a human being is the right to make the world itself their choice.
What the? An accident? Is it an accident?
No, actually, it's a murder.
Who's the victim?
You are.
A gun! It just suddenly appeared right out of thin air!
Now then, it's time for a quiz! Question 1. Who might I be? What's that? I think I heard you say my name's Nikolai. That's right! Okay, question 2. What on earth am I doing here? Here's a hint, it's cleanup duty. Oops! Oh, I gave away the answer!
What do you mean, cleanup duty?
Well, my duty is to get rid of those individuals who possess way too much information about our next secret project. The quiz is no fun if someone gives away all the answers, right?
Our project. I get it now. You're with Fyodor.
Indeed, we are the Decay of the Angels. Terrorists charged to go lurking throughout this land. 5 angels here to tell of the end of God's world.
I told you. Stop attacking head on.
Yeah, but...
Don't let your power control you. It's whenever you start drowning in the tiger's river of power that you always seem to lose the fight. To put it quite bluntly, the tiger is strong, but you're weak. It's time for work. Let's go.
A murder society?
Yes, this is an urgent request from the government. A photo of the first victim.
Terrible.
The victim was a young Diet member. As you can see, he had the skin of his upper body torn off and was forced to wear it inside out.
The killer's got interesting taste, doesn't he?
There have been 4 such incidents in the past week by the same culprit. the vice commander of the Coast Guard, killed by a powerful corrosive being poured on his head. The Ministry of Defense's External Defense Department Chief Secretary was injected with high-density air using an air compressor, leading to expulsion of all blood from his pores. Lastly, a top military envoy. A pain-inducing plant from South America known as the suicide weed was implanted in his armpit. He was then locked in a room where he slammed his own head against the wall, causing a deadly cerebral contusion.
This must be the decay of angels. It's a message from the murderer.
The decay of angels?
The decay of angels. It refers to the 5 signs that angels at the pinnacle of the 6th path of existence exhibit before their death.
President.
The robe becomes stained with grime and oils. The crown wilts and rots. The body becomes dirty and odorous. Sweat pours out of the armpits.
It's a serial murderer making a deliberate display of brutality.
Just a second, please. There have only been 4 murders so far.
Of the 5 omens, dissatisfaction and apathy remain.
Therefore, there's gonna be one more murder.
Not true. We are going to stop the murder before it happens. Each of us will commit to putting an end to this villain's twisted ploy.
I disagree.
Why, Rompo? Care to explain?
My friend gave me a warning about this.
The detective agency is about to get a huge job offer. Don't accept it. If you do, it'll be the end of the agency.
I think we should turn this job down.
Have you seen the Shikyu Futsumo Award in my office? It's the honor of the century for those of us who protect people.
You're telling me to take the job because we got a bow?
No. Of course not. That's nothing but a piece of wood. Awards and accolades add up to little more than set dressing. Even if we were honorless thieves in a basement, we would still risk our lives to stop this attempted murder.
Fine. Do what you want to do then.
Rompo, wait! Don't stop him, Kunikita. The agency will pursue the murderer as planned, and Rompo will pursue the facts behind the agency's potential demise. A dual investigation. Rompo knows full well that's the most optimal solution.
Apathy and dissatisfaction are part of the 5 death omens. Huh. Yes?
This is Sakaguchi of the Special Operations Division. I've been unable to contact Dazai. Do you happen to know his whereabouts?
No.
Then please convey a message to the agency staff. It's in regards to the serial murder victims. There is evidence that the victims' bodyguard rosters, along with their itineraries, were tampered with and modified by certain government figures.
It may be that the decay of angels is the alternate identity of a government body. Please be careful.
Hello there.
Oh, you're from the Department of Justice.
Thank you for your service. You're a newcomer at the detective agency, right? How's the investigation coming so far?
We're going through all our files of dangerous gifted suspects, but nothing yet.
Who were you on the phone with just now?
Oh, that was...
There's evidence they were tampered with by certain government figures.
Oh, I was just asked to run a few more errands. Never mind me. What brings you to this part of town, sir?
Actually, I just happened to spot you as I was enjoying a cup of coffee. My favorite coffee shop is right over there.
I can use my tiger's sense of smell. I don't detect any scent of coffee on him.
Something the matter?
No, nothing at all. But I have to be off now to go feed the boss's pet chameleon and stuff. Pardon me!
Very good. The armed detective agency is doomed to destruction. The decision has already been made.
Mind telling me which horse came in first?
I see. He's blind. The number 9 horse.
Thanks so much. You picked the winner, didn't you?
You mean you can tell that I won?
Yes. By your sweat, temperature, the sound of your muscles, I can see a whole lot more than I used to now that I've lost my sight. The fact is, I can even predict what tomorrow will bring you. Because you're not gonna have it tomorrow. Former Port Mafia executive Osamu Dazai, 138 counts of aggravated murder, 312 counts of intimidation, a total of 625 charges including fraud, for which I'm arresting you.
Gentlemen, the hunting dogs have arrested one of the members of the agency.
It's about time.
Sheltering the killer of 35 people, known associations with the Mafia, a doctor suspected of murdering one of her patients. We'll expose those hypocrites for these crimes and dismantle the detective agency once and for all. It's what we've been waiting for.
Attorney Tonin, sir. I've gathered the documents.
Orders sent to Fukuzawa to assassinate pro-war individuals at the end of the conflict.
The armed detective agency won't survive the publication of this information. And the list of targets for assassination?
Right here, sir.
Father, I can finally avenge you for what they did. I must thank the people who provided this to us. Though I'm still unclear how they managed to get their hands on such highly classified information, I ought to meet with them in person, don't you think?
I've already arranged for the interview to take place.
Oh? When is that?
Why, right now, sir.
Oh?
Thank you for all you've done for me these past 6 months, sir. Now then, quiz time! Why did I keep you alive instead of killing you just now? The answer is because you're going to hate going back to your own station before you die!
You got me then. I knew I was being tracked, but I guess hiding in a big crowd was no use against the hunting dogs. You going to take me out along with all these people?
It's so clear. I can hear your rage. Soon it'll turn into fear of being punished for all your crimes. I really can't wait for that moment to happen.
I can see we're going to get along great. Just tell me one thing, though. What specifically made you come arrest me now?
Fingerprints, recordings, photos. All manner of evidence seemed to suddenly re-emerge out of thin air. As though a switch had just been thrown.
It was about my special ability from the beginning. You wanted to reverse a perfect murder and restore guilt to those who deserved it. That's why you lured me in.
Hi, what's up, C-Daisy? So, Armed Detective Agency, I'm going to give you 4 pieces of information. First piece. I restrained government bigwigs with fun machines. It's the Chainsaw Human Disassembly Show. As soon as it's time, he'll be cut in two.
The dissatisfaction.
Second, if someone not a member of the detective agency comes in, the chainsaw will activate automatically. And third, the chainsaw will activate at exactly 6 p.m. And finally, my 4th piece. Damn it! I just realized I don't have a 4th one. Oh, what do I do now? Hey, you got any ideas? Crap! An on-air oopsie! Stop the camera! I can't go on!
30 minutes till 6 p.m.
Yes, I understand. Be careful. Given he's demanding that an agency member enters first, you'd be crazy not to suspect a trap.
Do you have any idea what they're supposedly after?
I got this. I'm standing in front of the clue now. I smell blood. Chief Taneda!
It's Fukuzawa's detective kid. I know what the decay of angels is after.
For all of us to arrive there in time, it'll take us at least 10 minutes. You're to go in first and stop the timer device.
It might be dangerous to charge in from the front. Instead, I think I'll have to use the underground escape route.
You're even more nimble than you're rumored to be, Tiger Boy. My name is Nikolai Kogu. Okay, it's quiz time. What is my special ability?
His hand in the cape shows up somewhere else.
You have a matter teleportation ability.
Bingo! My special ability lets me connect my cape with a point somewhere else in space. I have a range of roughly 30 meters or so.
So even if I hide, he'll still shoot me. Fine.
Go, dear. Huh? Tiger Banks. You're mine! I went and dropped the utility pole from the surface.
Decay of Angels is a criminal organization comprised of 5 people. Jester Nikolai, Demon Fyodor, and 3 more special rank, very dangerous gifted individuals.
We'll wipe out the gifted rotting this country's values, starting with you if you don't get smart fast.
Okay, now I see. V is an organization of gifted individuals brought together to drive out other gifted individuals. V is in 5. The 5 death omens of an angel.
And one of them has the special ability to exchange information that the others want. That's the one who wounded me.
So?
They stole information from inside here. But on the plus side, when they were in my head, I learned their goal.
Good. I'll contact the agency. You need to see a doctor fast.
Wait! They're attempting to use my memories in order to steal a page from a book.
What page?
From a blank novel that makes anything written in it become reality. It's a page from that book, torn out to use for research.
His special ability is strong. Very strong.
Well, it's just about that time for me to go ahead and restrain you.
It's not just powerful in combat. This ability could be used for raids, burglary, eavesdropping, abduction. He could do anything. He's the one who killed the government officials. Why?
Huh?
Why do you kill people? Why do you kill them so horribly?
The four that I killed asked me the same question before they died. And I have two answers. First, because it's fun. It's so damn fun and it gets me so excited! Sounds like a plausible answer if you ask me. Does that sound fun to you? Just think about it for a moment. You're killed by a monster without a speck of humanity. Unfair, but easy to understand. You can die with a sense of closure. But you aren't going to be some monster's victim when I murder you. So I'll tell you the second and real reason why. Sorry to fool you, but I'm perfectly sane. I understand how evil killing truly is, and I feel as much guilt as anyone. Do you happen to like birds? I love little birdies. They fly, unbound whatsoever by gravity with total freedom. That's the feeling that I wish for. That's why I joined the Decay of Angels.
That empty page that was stolen by the Decay of Angels. It has the same special power as the entire book itself. But I know that there's a rule to using the book. What's written in the book in any of its pages must have the casual consistency of an actual novel. For some reason, a narrative like logical consistency is required to overwrite reality. Someone who had such an ability must have been the one who created it. Though, I suppose it's a good rule since you can't just write, "One day humanity was doomed," and expect it to come true.
Chief Taneda!
Abandon the mission and run. Their intentions are to use the agency as the ultimate catalyst for doom.
The freedom of a bird? And that's what you're killing for? I don't understand you at all.
I'm sure you don't. In the end, Fyodor was the only one who did. And it's quiz time again! At what point did I start lying in what I just told you? Did I fool you? Don't you know you should never lend your ear to a jester? You'll have trouble getting to sleep at night. Now, I'm going to give you your leg back.
My leg's stuck in the ground. I can't get it out.
And thus ends our show for now. I hope you'll visit again.
Stop!
Time?
Only 5 more minutes to go. Huh?
The military. If anyone besides the detective agency enters, the hostages die. Kenji, stop the military police.
Roger that.
I want you others to follow me.
Nothing isn't my old boss. It's almost time to say bye-bye to your lower half, sir. Wow. In solemn recognition of your strong sense of justice, I'll set you free. You can use this phone to call for help.
You're just some lousy cur. Take it from me, the justice system will destroy you all for this.
I truly envy you, you know? Birds born in a cage don't realize that they're prisoners. The prison is here. See, it's your own skull. We can't escape it if we tried. Not from this warm, moist hell.
Headquarters, sniper team here. Target sighted through the window. But the target's faces are obscured by white hoods.
The White Hoods are the Decay of Angels. Wait for our signal to fire. Rescue squad, status.
An unidentified gifted flipped our armored vehicle over.
What? How? Tell Intel to pull up the gifted immediately. Lieutenant, take a look. The hostages are all general manager level dignitaries. It might just be true after all. The Decay of Angels are actually government agents like we all feared.
If that is true, Captain, it's dangerous to collaborate with other agencies.
Right. Tell them we need to know now what the hostages' secret meeting was about.
Sir.
A whole bunch of government traitors. Which arm are the Decay of Angels from?
The hostages are all just beyond this door.
The first thing we're going to do is throw in this sonic grenade. And simultaneous to that, Demon Snow will decapitate the perpetrators. A frontal special ability fight could cause the hostages' deaths. But there's no other way.
Their time's up. Now we press the start button.
No, not yet. There's still a few minutes till the 6 o'clock deadline.
Nope, we're right on time. Also, everyone take off your hoods.
Targets are removing their hoods.
Now we'll see their faces. Don't miss.
Dive in now. What the hell is this? It's the hostage room. Impossible. We haven't opened the door yet.
Is this the start button? Why am I pressing it?
Welcome.
You're the murderer. But I don't get why you're the one who's tied up.
This is my escape from the biological brainwashing we call morality. Hear it! Listen to my brazen scream of free will. Help me! Help me, please! Mr. Tony! Call for help before it's too late! The perpetrator's name!
Listen.
I know who the perpetrator is. The hostages are being cut in half.
You have permission to fire.
Captain, we've learned that the subject of the meeting was the publication of the detective agency's criminal acts. Infiltration Squad A, we've arrived at the target location.
This is Squad B. We've arrived at our point.
Understood. Begin. Knock your gas!
Just deployed.
They're going to lose consciousness in just over 10 seconds. Infiltration Squad C. Confirm the target's heartbeats using your sensors.
Headquarters. One target's heartbeat is weakened, but the other 4 cannot be confirmed.
What?
We're going in. Headquarters. They're all dead.
Shit. It's suicide. Quickly, resuscitate the one that had the weak pulse. I want them to confess their crime. Captain! What?
Welcome to the party.
Impossible. The gas should have knocked them all out. Did they bleed themselves on purpose? Lower blood pressure means slower gas absorption?
You see, the thing is, people can stay alive for about 2 minutes after their hearts stop beating. And for gifted, near-death wounds are like no wounds. Special ability. Thou shalt not die.
Infiltration team, what's going on? What is your position?
Infiltration team has gone silent. It seems that they've all been taken down.
To think you'd all die just to avoid inhaling gas. There's no way you could have done it without knowing about our plan of attack. How did you know?
Anything I've seen once, I can reproduce with my notebook. We've used your encryption devices several times in our joint operations. Now use that to call for help. With prompt treatment, you'll survive. But I wouldn't wait too long to do it if I were you.
All infiltration squads, remove your masks now. Given they're eavesdropping on our communications, you'll have to use your own discretion.
Captain, where are you going?
I'm off to the front lines, too. I can't let more innocent civilian or military lives be lost.
Captain! A large warhead's in the air, and it's headed right for us!
What? The enemy's targeting us directly?
Aircraft really does wonders for shoulder pain. Never felt better. Huh? Permission granted to stand at ease, men. Which one of you is commander?
Raise your hands and on your knees! Are you with the detective agency? Any normal person colliding with the ground at that speed should have been incinerated.
You're absolutely right about that. It's a horrible ride. No room to even scratch my own ass.
Hold your fire.
When did you get...
Now, Captain. Did you miscalculate your descent trajectory again? I'm sure that I fired right at him. How?
Jono! You got here before me!
How many times do I have to tell you? Please don't give our troops a heart attack for no reason.
Did he just toss out a ballistic bot for long-range insertion?
That can only mean that he's the legendary...
All men, you can lower your weapons. These men are here to back us up. They're from the military police's most powerful force, the hunting dogs.
And here come the others.
Here comes the
It's open.
Damn it! Mine won't open! Blood! Through me! Blood! Show me the guilty blood and please for mercy! Hurry up or I'll chop off your legs!
Our gremlin friend is angry again.
It's really not funny, Captain. If the Vice Captain goes on another rampage, we'll all be dead before we know it.
Don't make me wait! Hurry up and open, damn it! You're lucky you came to my rescue in time, my servant. 1 second longer and I would have gladly chopped up your arms and legs to make fertilizer for my personal bonsai project.
She's a little girl? You are just as rabid as ever, my dear Teruko. I'm counting on you today.
You got it, Captain. Teruko will always put her life on the line to be your loyal dog, Captain.
Are you sure that they're the hunting dogs?
Yep. The Elite 5-member team comprised of the best of all the forces throughout the entire country. They're the Special Suppression Squad, A-Team. The squad's leader and living legend, Ochi Fukuji. The Blind King, who comprehends all with his superhuman senses, Sagiku Jono. The most capable combatant in the squad, Techo Suetiro. Feared by her enemies and allies alike, the Queen of Bloody Thorns, Teruko Okura.
You said 5, but there are only 4 here. Where's the 5th member of the team?
No one knows who the 5th member is.
He's infiltrating another organization. Are you the commander on site?
Yes, sir. It's quite an honor to meet you, Captain Fukuji.
You should go have some tea and leave this to us. Vicious criminals betraying human morals. We'll be shredded by the fangs of the hunting dogs.
Yeah, thanks. Please do.
Hands up, Fukuzawa. We're arresting you. You enemy of the state. This is the end of the armed detective agency.
Have we gained some distance on them?
My phone isn't working out here.
Radio jamming. They'll try to stop us physically next. Surveillance satellites, search dogs, roadblocks, military drones. There's nothing the 5 of us can do with our special abilities.
It doesn't look good. After all, the sheer numbers and firepower of organized militaries are unbeatable in the modern world.
Damn! We can't be stuck here! Right now, they might be treating Naomi like a common criminal!
Common criminals.
Listen, everyone. This is just like the 10-year orchard. When I was in the village, we spent 10 whole years raising an orchard, and then just like that, it got wiped out overnight in a big storm. We never got to harvest that orchard even once.
Well, that's an awful story.
What do you think our village did then? At first, we were dumbfounded. We laughed about it for a little while, and then we planted new seedlings. We decided to rebuild over the next 10 years. A storm has done really bad things to the detective agency, but it's okay. In the end, a calamitous storm and a blessed rain are exactly the same thing. Let's keep living. Let's make it through the storm. One thing we can't do is decide that we don't want to live here anymore. We've got to stay on the spinning rock we call Earth.
Kenji is right. Let's weather the storm and rebuild the detective agency. And to do that, we all need to come out of this storm alive. The longer we wait, the better equipped and staffed they'll be, and the wider their search radius. From my experience, their search radius will grow by roughly 50 kilometers per hour.
Does that mean we have to escape at a rate of at least 50 kilometers per hour as well?
That's correct, which means we're gonna need a vehicle.
The criminals have 2 options. The first is the arterial road to the south. They may commandeer a vehicle there to make their escape. The second is the station to the north. They could hide among the crowds and escape by train.
This special squad we have is exemplary. I could be screwing around the base sitting on my butt while the rest of you close the case yourselves.
I don't appreciate your vulgar figure of speech.
North or south, a train or a car? It's all a choice between life and death. Now then, which course will those pathetic starving dogs finally decide to take?
We'll take a car.
Why a car and not the train?
If they manage to somehow catch up to us on the train, it could get derailed and cause a grave accident. Too many innocent lives would be lost. That's unacceptable. So it's gotta be a car.
Well, I'm on board. Good thinking, Kunikita. Let's do it.
So, which way shall we go? The trains or the roads?
Both. We'll face the enemy's potential ambush head-on and crush them. That's how we do things on this team.
All right, then. Terako and I will head north to the trains, and Jono and Techo will head south to the roads. Above all, make sure you don't lose them.
Captain Fukuji, the enemy has destroyed our vehicles. We only have one car left that we can use for transportation.
Not a problem. Fail, and you will all be punished severely.
I forgot, Captain. What was the punishment again?
We haven't messed up since we were formed. Guess I forgot too.
Well then.
Huh? Hello, may I help you?
Do you have vehicle theft insurance?
Of course I do. Why do you ask?
I see. Congratulations. After this, you're getting a brand new car.
We're here.
Tell me, Techo, why did you cut down all the trees instead of avoiding them?
Because the fastest route to any destination is a single straight line.
That's how an idiot would think.
Let's have a meal before we start.
I'll have you know, Techo, that of every single member in our squad, I most certainly hate you the most.
Hate? Why?
Because your soul is entirely lacking in artistry. You enjoy putting shichimi spice on strawberries just because you think similar colors pair well together. That also goes for putting sugar on rice and soup base on gyokon. And now you're eating a hard-boiled egg with a shell on. I wish you would just die already. You're completely useless until we meet the enemy. Just shut up and don't say anything. Also, your pulse and your breathing are both annoying. Please do your best to stop. There. Distance 500 meters. 4 to 5 people on board. Driving in a westward direction. Just a little more. I wonder what's happening to the others right now.
Beware of any traps set by the suspects.
Military police. They've come to help with the hostages.
Hey, help! I'm over here! Help me out, please!
Headquarters, we've discovered a remaining suspect. Request permission to fire.
So now what do we do?
Next step is to hide out and gather information. That is, if we can find someone who will provide shelter to fugitives from the detective agency.
I know a hideout we can go to. Somewhere that'll be safe for us. But I'll loathe being there.
Really? Where's that? I'm interested too. Please do tell us all about this safe hiding place you're going to. You're missing someone though. Where's the girl in the kimono?
What? He stopped Kenji's brute force.
Asshole! Like snow! Go, Kunikita! Make a run for it!
Very impressive. You erased the car and messed up my sense of location before pulling me out along with you. But special ability illusions won't work on me. I let you catch me on purpose. We're going to finish you two off first.
Should I kill both of them?
Of course, you are the best swordsman of the hunting dog, so at least go make yourself useful.
Get ready.
It's not the idealist way to leave anyone behind!
Prepare to fire! Wait!
Don't worry, I only knocked them unconscious. We've been framed by an enemy. The detective agency was labeled a criminal organization, so we had to escape. Come on.
Where are we going? We have to get out of here, don't we?
There's no getting out of here now. We're stuck down here for a while.
Kenji! No time to slow down! Grab on!
Well, that didn't go as planned.
We just went from bad to worse. The hunting dogs are the most formidable squad the military has. Their bodies have been augmented by gifted experts. They have many times the physical capabilities of the average person. The next time they catch us, they'll destroy the car and then we'll be as good as done.
I can't believe it, but you are actually more useless than ever today, Techo. Have you considered finding a new job?
I just needed a little warm-up fight to get my blood flowing.
Oh, he's a bit pissed about getting run over.
On some occasions, evil goes unpunished. Just as good can go unrewarded. Without my blade, one cannot wish for all things to receive their proper justice. One cannot begin to hope for balance.
Plum blossoms in the snow!
What just happened to us?
You came back to save your comrade and you all went down. It's hardly surprising when you stop to think about it. In my experience, that's just the way life usually goes.
Look out!
There is no escaping from my sword.
I still can't comprehend his attack. I have to do something! Dopa poet! Stun grenade! Ah! I saw it. The moment he drew his sword, his saber grew far longer than his scabbard. And it turned. His blade. It's long enough to catch a fleeing car. There's no way we can escape from that blade. He's on another level. Hunting dogs, you're certainly capable.
Now then, if you please, Techo. First, decapitate the doctor. We can't have her healing her buddies after all. Besides, she's an angel of death. The world is going to be much better off without her.
No! Don't kill her! All right, we'll surrender!
You have an interesting pulse. Perhaps it's because you're still such an idealist, Kunikida. You're relieved right now, aren't you?
What do you mean?
I read up on you. Your ideals are as lofty and large as a hot air balloon. But a hot air balloon inevitably runs out of fuel and returns to the ground. You've lived in fear of when that day would come.
Stop it.
I'm really happy for you, Kunikida. Starting tomorrow, you'll be free!
To think that one day we'd be saved by the Port Mafia.
Saved? Idiot. The only thing that happened was your boss made a deal with my boss. The price for your rescue is the transfer of an agency member to the Mafia. We've always got room for gifted criminals with useful abilities.
The president did that?
He couldn't, could he? But if not, we all would have gotten arrested. And Yosono would have been killed.
You're correct. The president knows that ideals alone can't save lives. We need to be practical about this.
You think Kunikida hit his head or something?
Maybe it's because his core got all chopped up. His core? Oh, you mean his notebook.
You have an interesting pulse. You're relieved right now. You've lived in fear of when that day would come.
Is he right? If my colleagues die, do my ideals die with them? Am I just waiting for that day?
Get back here!
Seriously, dude? Come on! Shit, he's outside the chopper. Bastard's gonna slash up the rotors.
Tanizaki. I want you to expose the actual murderer.
Evil be gone.
Don't fail.
Plum blossoms in the snow!
You're a fool if you think that I'm going to die from this small height. I'll just extend my sword again and chase the chopper.
You're the real fool here. I won't allow anyone to mess up my schedule.
Your ideals are as lofty and large as a hot air balloon. But a hot air balloon inevitably runs out of fuel and returns to the ground.
My name is Dopo Kunikida. My ideals will not fail. I will fuel them with my life so they will fly on for eternity!
Kunikida!
okay?
Just tired, that's all.
Of course you are. We've been sitting here for 2 days without anything to eat or drink.
I'm going to go look for food and water.
I wonder if it's true. I heard the inspector speaking about it while we were hiding up there. They said the president was arrested, and Kunikita blew himself up during his escape. He may not have survived. How did everything come to this?
Survival. That's our priority right now.
What a terrible incident. A government-sanctioned detective agency turning out to be a terrorist organization.
It's unbelievable, but there's video evidence of the crime and many witnesses. It's likely that the crimes they've solved in the past were in fact their own doing. This has rocked the nation's trust in government agencies.
Hide your face. We need to secure funds to leave the city. Then we'll escape by train.
Escape? And then what?
I don't know yet. The Decay of Angels are behind all this, and have an impeccable far-reaching plan. We don't even have a full picture of their plot, let alone any evidence to prove they're behind it.
She's absolutely right. If the Decay of Angels really was behind all this, then Fyodor must be involved. There's no way the two of us could take down that monster alone.
The tiger is strong, but you're weak.
The agency has saved me time after time, but I'm not capable of helping the agency.
Please don't tell me that you're giving up already.
Is something wrong?
Think. What would Dazai do if he were in this situation? Wait. There's one lead that could prove the detective agency is innocent.
The detective agency is about to get a huge job offer. Don't accept it.
Mushitaro Oguri?
Yeah. He warned Rampo just before everything happened. Somehow he knew about the plan. He must know who the true murderers are, too. Maybe even how to restore the detective agency to the way it was.
But the last I heard, he'd gone missing. So how are we supposed to find him?
There's always a way. Hello?
Isn't this system part of Francis's Eyes of God? Do you think we're safe coming here? Francis was our enemy before. He might sell us out to the military police.
He's agreed to hear us out. Dazai was able to get him to cooperate during the cannibalism. We'll have to try to do the same. I smell blood. Are you all right?
It's you. I'm hurt, but it's nothing serious. You've got to hurry. Go help Francis.
Stay and take care of her.
You seem to have lost your religion quite spectacularly, priest. Death to my target for my beloved princess. You'll pay for what you did to her. You're talking about Margaret. How touching that you would attempt to rescue for her, even though you've lost everything. But you see, the disrespect of forgetting my face is punishable by death! Physical boost, $50,000! He got away.
He's strong. I see why he was the leader of the guild. But why was an assassin here?
Enjoying yourself? I hope you've been comfortable in this Port Mafia hideout. It ought to conceal you from the hunting dogs for at least a week or two.
Mori, sir, do you happen to know whether Kunikita survived the explosion?
Unfortunately, the only thing I was able to find was where Dazai had disappeared to. Dazai had already been arrested by the hunting dogs prior to the hostage situation. The military police transferred him to the Ministry of Justice, then to Public Security. His subsequent whereabouts are currently unknown.
The detective agency is innocent, you say?
I swear on it!
What about all that footage on TV of the hostages being murdered, then?
It was a complete frame-up. The Decay of Angels are the masterminds behind it. Fyodor is a co-conspirator.
Even if, hypothetically, you're speaking the truth,
The detective agency is doomed. Defeating Fyodor is utterly impossible. He's in Europe, being held in a detention center. The facility is called Merceau. Merceau's very existence is a national secret. Its location is known only by high-level European government officials. Needless to say, it is impenetrable. In fact, it's the safest hideout in the world.
Now then, it would be a little annoying if Eyes of God were used by the detective agency. I ought to eliminate its owner just in case.
But if he's imprisoned, he shouldn't be able to give orders to the outside.
Well, he shouldn't, but that kind of thing is his specialty.
So basically, he's impossible to beat, just as you said.
It's like a giant game of chess, where he's the only one allowed to move the pieces around. There's nothing to do.
Oh, spell bullet! He must have left his blood behind when the fountain pen hit it.
I won't be able to boost my strength in time. I'm dead.
And now Eyes of God are useless to anyone but me. I've devised a perfect plan. But perfection is boring. A new prisoner arriving.
I activated the sprinkler system. It was the only way to dilute the blood.
Kyoka!
You did this? Interesting. How did you know about the blood?
I was under the stairwell when a warning showed up on the display.
I've stopped your assassination attempt, Mr. Demon.
Very well played, Dazai. You let yourself be captured in order to save the agency.
The only way I can see through your schemes is by sitting here where I can keep an eye on you.
I'm blessed to have a chess partner in a place like this.
The Chief is expected to awaken within the next 40 hours. That is, if the procedure is successful.
Damn it! Why did the Chief go after the enemy on his own? This wouldn't have happened if he followed protocol and let us protect him.
The criminal set the conditions for the meeting himself. They were both to show up alone or not at all.
How could we fall for such an amateur move like that?
We needed the information. The Chief's gift allows him to learn the details of any abilities activated nearby. He had stopped Violent Gifted in the past, so he felt confident in his ability to do so again. Alas, the criminal was one step ahead. Please watch over the Chief. I'll give directions on site.
Wouldn't it be best if you stay until he awakens?
No. I was never on very good terms with the Chief. The Chief quantifies human lives. Sacrifice one to save 100. I couldn't stand that.
If you discover the decay of angels, kill them.
But what of legal justice?
Hongo, what's the Special Operations Division mission? Peace. It is to bless the masses with an ignorant, peaceful existence. To hell with the law when peace is on the line. And if good men have to die for it, I'd let them die.
I was oblivious to his intent. When he said he'd allow good men to die for the sake of peace, he was including himself in that list. I'll report on the case's closure after the Chief awakens. And as for the murderer, I will kill him myself.
Time for Happy Group Counseling Hour. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Fyodor Dostoevsky.
Okay, hold up. Stop right there.
What's the problem?
Exactly what?
Exactly what?
Oh, life counseling.
Thank you for your prompt understanding. Due to our high levels of intelligence, we have the unique ability to read each other's minds. Although, because of that, we are not able to provide life counseling to other people. Unless they have our level of intelligence, that is. Which is why this opportunity will be used to discuss life's troubles with each other.
Sure, you go first.
All right. My subordinates just wait on my instructions and like their own initiative. How might I get them to become more autonomous and effective without me?
Just sit around all day and stop giving out instructions. Some of them will realize things have to change and take it upon themselves to act.
Very good advice.
Okay, my turn.
Go ahead.
The waitress at my favorite cafe won't respond to my romantic advances. How can I get her to accept me?
Initiate a way for her to lose her job and trick her family into disowning her. That ought to convince her to turn to you out of desperation.
How I get you?
Nice.
should both try asking a question at the same time.
Okay, good idea.
Ready, set, go. Tell me how you managed to contact the outside world. I figured you'd say as much.
Sure you did. Whichever of us learns the other's method of communication first will be able to ask our associates to terminate the other's ability to communicate. In other words, victory.
A pity you won't see through my method of communication.
Of course I will. That's why I'm here.
Indeed. So the evidence you need to prove the agency's innocence lies with this what's-his-name? Was it Mushy Pharaoh?
It's Mushitaro. The vehicle transporting him was found on the road, without him in it. All that was found inside was an officer who was shot dead, but Mushitaro's blood wasn't discovered on the scene. The enemy must have abducted him.
And you need the eyes of God to find him, is that right? It could be arranged, though naturally for a price.
What's your price?
Well, I'd like to bring Margaret back to her former self.
Margaret? Oh, your employee.
You see, Margaret is currently in a coma. I want the detective agency's doctor woman to revive her.
Your price is Yosono?
I've come to realize Margaret is the only person alive who can kill Nathaniel. You saw the attack earlier yourself. Nathaniel has become a pawn for the rats, but he still remembers Margaret. His desire to save her has compelled him to commit incomprehensible acts of violence. We'll take advantage of that.
But didn't she risk her life to protect Nathaniel? Isn't that why she was critically wounded in the first place?
Precisely.
You're going to force two people who tried to save each other once to now go kill each other?
And what's wrong with that?
I had forgotten. You're the man who tried to crash the Moby Dick into the city and murder hundreds of thousands of innocent people.
Again, I ask your point.
I think I chose the wrong person to do business with.
Are you sure?
I feel like the president would rip me apart if I actually made a deal like this.
Have our negotiations failed? Very well. But there's something that I would like to show you before you leave this place. Allow me to introduce you. This is Margaret.
No. Awful.
During the Guild's bankruptcy, she was seen and treated by several abhorrent doctors. Her symptoms only worsened. She only agreed to take on many of the dangerous duties of the Guild to have the resources to rebuild her family estate. At this point, that's nothing but a vain delusionary dream. If Margaret could somehow speak to us right now, she'd beg us to terminate her life support and send the money being spent on treatment to her ancestral home instead.
All right. I'll take your deal.
Are you really sure about this?
It's hopeless. Whenever I see that someone's suffering, all I see is my younger self. I can't just abandon them.
I think that philosophy works well for you.
Let's go. I hope Yosono and the others are safe.
Don't give me that bullshit. I know you can help prove our innocence. You just don't want to until we've heard your terms.
Correct. The agreement with President Fukuzawa was that we would only help the agency in exchange for transferring one of its members to the Port Mafia.
Transfer a member of the agency? You think you're being funny? You just want me back in the Mafia. Isn't that really what's behind all this?
And if that's the case, what of it? President Fukuzawa understood that when he made the agreement with me.
The president would never agree to that in a million years.
I accept your request to protect all detective agency employees. Though, combating the hunting dogs will be quite the daring endeavor, even for the Port Mafia.
What are your demands?
The transfer of one detective agency member to the Port Mafia.
That will not be an easy price for me to pay. I have one condition. That you don't request Yosono. She won't tolerate being your assistant again.
So you're wrong. See? Fukuzawa said he would be willing to give you up.
Boss, pardon the interruption, but something came up. This radio was at the entrance.
Hey, how are you doing there, old sport? I don't have time, so I'll make it quick. I sent the lycanthrope boy your way.
Lycanthrope? It's Atsushi! He's still alive!
And the reason for his appearance?
A transaction. You use the healing ability for me. In exchange, I provide information that will lead to the agency's restoration. Let's meet in 20 minutes at Coban Street.
Information leading to the agency's restoration. Now we have some hope.
It is odd, though. How did Francis discover the location of this Port Mafia hideout?
I suppose he must have used his eyes of God or whatever.
That's the thing. If he was able to discover...
Yosuno, where are you going? To complete that transaction? You think it might be a trap, right? Is that the reason you won't join the Port Mafia?
Don't give me that bullshit! I know you can help prove our innocence, you just don't want to until we've heard your terms!
Correct. The agreement with President Fukuzawa was that we would only help the agency in exchange for transferring one of its members to the Port Mafia.
Transfer a member of the agency? You think you're being funny? You just want me back in the Mafia. Isn't that really what's behind all this?
I can go. I'll join the Mafia instead. My ability of light snow ought to be useful enough to satisfy them. But please tell me what's going on. What happened between you and the Mafia boss? Does it have to do with the Angel of Death that the hunting dogs were talking about?
All right then. I guess you two deserve an explanation. Fine. I'll tell you as we walk. A long time ago, the boss and Mr. Mori were close allies in the three-party framework. As you know, they wound up as enemies. Why do you think that is?
Well, come to think of it...
It's because of me. The island Tokoyamijima appeared out of nowhere in the Pacific. An unclaimed island where it was only ever night became the main battleground at the end of the Great War. Electromagnetic waves from the aurora destroyed electronic equipment, resulting in pre-modern close-quarters combat.
Still, I have your medicine right here. I'm gonna wrap your bandage.
Don't just lie there, you lousy soldiers! Special ability! Thou shalt not die!
I can see! My eyes are working. It doesn't hurt. I'm completely healed. My leg. I have my leg again.
You get hurt because you're weak. Now stop loafing and get back to the damn front!
Let us use your likeness as our emblem! Please, let us worship you!
Please, piss off!
Are you that enamored with my Yosuno that you're willing to lose your life over her?
Chief Mori, we would never disrespect her like that. Oh, shit. He's gonna kill us. Oh, he's going to pickle our organs.
Since when am I your Yosuno? Did you buy me at an auction I wasn't aware of, Chief Mori? How'd you like your ears bitten off?
I'm your superior officer, am I not? I have the right to correct your attitude and language whenever I feel they need correcting.
I don't care about military policy. I was working at a candy shop until last week, when you dragged me out here against my will.
She's so strong-willed. I love it.
Reading a novel after you nearly died.
No, it's not a novel. It's a collection of poems.
Huh? Unbelievable. I'm not telling you to thank me with tears of joy or anything. But do you have any intention of hurrying back to the front? You know, now that you're all better?
I want to thank you for sure, which is why I'd like to present you with this gift.
Is that one of my butterflies? No, it's... metal.
Thank you so much, my angel.
But how? How did you do that just now? Was that your special ability?
It's nothing that's going to change the world. Certainly not in the way that your ability is going to impact people.
I'm going to change the world? Your head must still be injured.
There are some things you notice when you're nothing but a private. The special ability doctrine. The great powers of Europe that first started the Gifted Wars, they're all changing the very concept of war. If we are to prevail as victors, we must prove this to the military brass. We have to do so as quickly as possible. That's why Chief Mori brought you into this unit. That right? Chief Mori?
I can see that you've been reading my Immortal Regimen paper without the proper authority.
What are you talking about?
I was certain that was a classified military document.
I don't know what the hell you're going on about with all this immortal stuff. I just came here to save as many soldiers' lives as I can.
Let's go, Yosono. There are more patients waiting for your ability. Elise, the next chart, please.
Yes, Master Mori.
Damn it. Those assholes have set up camp so close. They don't think we're a threat.
I hate to agree with them, but we aren't. We don't even have weapons. None that will reach that far anyway.
We're way outgunned and outnumbered, unless something changes.
Relax, we'll take them down. After all, we have an angel on our side.
You're right.
That's right.
We're pretty lucky at that.
Absolutely. Shit! Get down!
Feeling all right?
Just tired, and you're looking pretty tired yourself.
Of course I look tired. I treated 80 people all at once. The worst one had half his body blown off in battle. I could heal his wounds with my ability, but I couldn't heal his mind. He can't even say his own name anymore.
What about everyone else?
The ones who didn't die went back to the front. They don't have enough men. Angel my ass. I'm basically healing them just for them to die again.
You're wrong.
What's that?
Something I'm using to keep count. It's the number of times that you've saved my life. Today makes the 5th time. I like to keep tally with this character. It's the character that stands for true. Every time I count something and finish writing true, I get the sense something just was created in the world. This is your impact. If it weren't for you, I would never have had a chance to see my brother and my parents again. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Actually,
Private First Class! The front remains dire. If you're better, then get out there.
Yes, sir.
But, as if to laugh in the face of our efforts, the situation continued to get worse and worse. I was treating soldiers once every 3 days, all repeat customers. Then it became once a day, soon 3 times a day. It was no longer appropriate to even call it a war. We were just standing there, being brutalized. A normal unit would have given up and retreated long ago. But that never happened. Because I was there.
What on earth? Please.
No more. I don't want to go to the front anymore.
That's a fracture of the right radius. Please treat him.
Father, Mother, I'll be home soon.
I don't want to fix them.
So you're just going to abandon his wounds?
Yeah, that's right. Let him fall back and get treatment on his own.
I see. You want to free him from his obligations on the battlefield as a soldier. Quite the conundrum. As your superior officer, I'm obliged to dole out your orders, but for some reason I have a hard time saying no to a young girl's wishes. Not your wishes, though. Do it. You know what happened to the samurai, don't you? They failed to understand warfare using guns and cannons, and they perished. In the war that followed, the nation which recognized tanks as beasts that could savage enemy territory, was able to massacre and completely annihilate its enemy. In naval battles, the nation which failed to realize airplanes would be the masters of the sea was the one to fall. And now, special abilities are changing war once again. Your role is to make the military understand this change is needed. Do it, or else the nation will crumble.
I refuse! I just want to save the lives of the people in front of me who need it!
Very well. There. He's dying now. Fix him.
No one could leave the battlefield after that. The soldier who drew a picture of me. The soldier who pat my head, saying I reminded him of his sister. The soldier who made me delicious coffee. They all died. If it weren't for me, they could have left with mere injuries. Do you know the word annihilation? It's used when half a fighting unit of soldiers becomes incapacitated, not when half of the unit is dead. In other words, if half of an army is hurt, it retreats and the battle ends. But as long as I was there was no retreat. That's why they couldn't lose. To lose is a human right, but I took that right away from them. Deprived of that opportunity, there's only one place a military can go.
Stop him! Take his dagger!
Everyone's gonna die because of that bitch! This isn't war! Let me go, asshole! Let me go! Ah! Let me go! Let me go!
It happened on the day a soldier I was close to tried to kill me.
My hair ornament's missing. I must have dropped it somewhere. I can't lose it after he gave it to me. I have to find it.
Yoshino. I'd like to ask you to deliver a message.
I know that voice.
I promised I'd endure. But your ability, the truth of it, has taught me. Every person in this world has their limits. Remember how I called you an angel? You're so much more than that. You've descended on the battlefield as an angel of death. Please, tell my family that I've said goodbye.
My memory after that is vague. From what I've heard, I went crazy. I was arrested for setting off a series of explosives. Something about trying to blow up an aircraft carrier. Oh. Even after the war, I was kept in isolation and under guard in a mental facility. Not that I imagine I would have left, even if the door was open.
So, someone must have rescued you from there. Was it the agency?
If only that were the case. I was rescued by the worst person there is. It was 3 years after the war had ended.
I finally found you.
Huh?
Come with me. I need your ability again.
You would willingly drag her back into hell again? Have you decided you're now the devil, Mori?
She is the very pillar of the three-part framework of the city's peace. An immortal army led by Yoshino's special ability. She's the key to defeating the formidable Port Mafia boss.
You really think she's the key? Your reasoning lacks all sense of humanity.
Humanity? War is a game in which the first to take humanity into account loses.
In that case, our alliance ends today.
Oh, it's your life that ends today.
Trump fights are always so pretentious. Oh, about this? I'm freeing you while my boss is fighting your old boss. That's my plan anyway.
Take me back.
Huh?
Take me back. I can't go outside again.
Why not?
My special ability makes it too easy to save lives. I make the lives of everyone around me seem like they're cheap and valueless. Take me back. I can't be allowed to live anymore.
That's so stupid. I don't give a crap. Why don't you give up using your special ability then?
If I could do that...
You're saying that you can't. Why not? Because you have a crazy healing ability? Because everyone tried to take advantage of that ability? That's not it. My ultra deduction is the best special ability. None of the others matter at all. With me on your side, I can solve any problem you have. If you doubt me, I can prove it to you.
It's... But how? I never told anyone about this hair ornament before.
I found it on an old aircraft carrier. See? I know everything. Try asking me a question. I'll answer anything.
Then tell me, what should I do with my life now? The people I cared about died because of me. That's how it's always going to be. There will always be people who want to exploit my special abilities against my will. There isn't one single place in this whole world where I should be allowed to live.
Wrong. There is one. Just one place in the world that doesn't need you. That one place is the Armed Detective Agency. We don't want your special ability. We want that kindness of yours that goes with it. You didn't want anyone to die, did you? That's why you're in so much pain. I invite you to join us because you feel that way. I don't care about your ability. It's your kindness that means something.
Yosano, what's wrong?
Nothing. It's time to go. The transaction takes place through the door. I'm saving the agency. No matter what happens to me.
There is one. Just one place in the world that doesn't need you.
Lord Francis, may I ask you something, please?
What is it?
Well, of the 78 strategy proposals I wrote, 74 of them involved selling the location of the detective agency members to the government. It seems to me like that would be a good opportunity for us, a way to make up for the Moby Dick having crashed. So my question is, why didn't you make a deal with the military police?
Louisa, do you remember the time when we were reunited on the streets?
I would never forget.
Me neither. Everything I ate tasted just like sand. Even breathing was strenuous. Despair takes away a person's ability to get back up on their feet. For the several months until you came along, I hadn't even thought of rebuilding the organization. But the agency got back up within an hour, and now they're fighting for their lives. I always side with the winners, and in this fight, the detective agency will win. Therefore, I will side with the detective agency.
Damn, the MPs are all over the place! What's the MP advance? SWAT, C deploy thermal scope! Don't let the one with the illusion ability escape!
Kenji!
I'm alright. This is nothing.
A raincoat? It's not even raining. Something about this suddenly feels off. Kenji! Kenji!
I can't get the sword out!
Listen up, everyone. We're heading to a secret Port Mafia escape route. Let's go.
Understood. The squads on the ground have requested that we move out.
Then let's move.
Let me see him. I can fix him right up.
Didn't I tell you? It was all a trap from the start.
You were right, and I was wrong. But something still seems off.
Yusino, I can't thank you enough. You just saved my life.
The Port Mafia's armed forces are returning fire now, but their defenses are falling apart quickly. If the 5 hunting dogs are called in too, then the first thing they'll do is destroy this escape route.
No. I suspect one of them is already here. That's Saber. It belonged to the hunting dogs.
I'm told that they have uncanny physical prowess, not to mention they possess exceptionally powerful special abilities for gifted. Each one of them has the military power of 1,000 Special Forces soldiers.
1,000? They're a bunch of super freaks, and there are 5 of them, too.
Tanizaki, Kenji, we need to talk. We should split up and run.
We can't, Yusino. We have to stick together.
I know we should, but right now only one of the hunting dogs is after us. If we split up, then 2 of us have a chance to survive. Mr. Mori mentioned a hideout, as well as designated vehicles for reaching it. Whoever's still alive will rendezvous there. Have they been prepared for us yet?
Both the hideout and the vehicles.
Good. Make me a promise. Whoever survives this escape will put their lives on the line to rebuild the agency again.
Of course we will. You have our word.
You're about to enter a complex maze. Follow this map meticulously to reach your escape vehicles.
Please stop the ambulance!
What's wrong?
There's fighting outside. Lots of gunshots and combat boots on the ground. Also, I hear familiar footsteps from underground.
Wasn't there supposed to be a secret Port Mafia passage in this area somewhere?
Atsushi! Kyoka!
It's Yusino!
Special ability. Thou shalt not die.
I can't believe Francis betrayed us.
The transaction was a trap. I thought that you 2 were both dead. That you got blown up in the explosion.
It couldn't be a trap. Francis is arrogant, but he looks after his employees. Even if he was gonna frame the agency, he would only do it after Margaret received your treatment.
Good point. So how did the military police find out where the transaction was taking place?
I think we should get out of here now. Listen, driver, we're gonna... It's an ambush! Everybody get out!
It's him. Go, Atsushi. I'm gonna deal with this guy by myself.
Don't do it! The 3 of us together might stand a better chance of beating him than just you!
Winning isn't what's important right now. What's important is protecting Margaret. I already treated her. Deliver her to Francis before the military police have a chance to close the roads. That's our only hope for reviving the armed detective agency. Believe me.
Yeah, then I'm gonna drive.
Don't worry about me. I've never been very good at dying.
Yosino, please be careful.
Now then, for starters, may I get a look at the face of the person I'm fighting?
But your ability, the truth of it, has taught me.
Stay back, you dumb shit! Freaking hell, that sword's tough.
What are you 2 doing here?
The boss's orders are absolute.
My life of evil is little more than a clown show. Thus, I have no intention of making way for your pretense of justice. Special ability. Falling Camellia. Wow. The escape road is in the underground drain ahead. I can't hold him off for much longer.
But I can...
Go!
We gotta go. Whatever happens, we can't let his efforts go to waste.
May my immortal soul be as one with the Port Mafia till the end of time.
We're safe. Only the Port Mafia can unlock this blast door.
I'm not so sure about that.
You're not, huh? You seem to know an awful lot about that gifted we faced.
The hunting dogs are military veterans, and that ability to manipulate metal.
Besides, she's an angel of death. The world is going to be much better off without her.
If that man is a hunting dog, it would make sense that they knew about the name, Angel of Death. But that man was most certainly dead. I know better than anyone. I tried so many times to bring him back.
That should do it. Even if the enemy uses a special ability to open the door, this proximity bomb will blow their heads off. Even a hunting dog would be dead instantly.
I've checked the waterway bulkheads as well. We're safe here.
You two take the boat to escape. I'm gonna stick around here a while longer.
What?
That man is only trying to get revenge on me. I can't let any more lives be lost because of things I've done in the past.
Are you trying to diss us or something? I hope you understand that we wouldn't be in the Port Mafia if we were a couple of wimps. I have a badass older brother. I used to hate being compared to him all the time. I turned to crime so I could become his opposite. No dice, because fighting and doing bad shit never relieved me of this indescribable agony. Then one day, I was caught breaking into the safe of some serious crooks. They told me they'd spare my life, but in exchange I'd have to become a grunt for them. Work was fun, as strange as that sounds, when I was fighting as part of something. Powerful organization who had my back and I had theirs. I was neither my brother nor his opposite, but someone else entirely. The boss's orders made me who I am. So if the boss's orders wind up killing me today, then I'd die having no regrets whatsoever.
Tochihara.
What is it, Ken? Did my story strike a chord?
Hey!
Ryza! I can't control it. I can't control the sword.
Impossible. The door was never opened and the bomb never went off. How then? You finally became someone you liked when you joined an organization. Well, I understand you. Come on, you wretched ghost of the past! I, Akiko Yoshino, will make you regret coming back to life!
Do you know who the fifth member of the Hunting Dogs is?
That question certainly came out of nowhere. My answer is no. I couldn't find anything about him, no matter how hard I tried.
The fifth member of the Hunting Dogs, Master of Metals and Executioner of the Shadows, is a man who has an old and faithful connection with the Armed Detective Agency. How many of the agency members do you think will survive against him?
to control metals is way more powerful than it used to be. Whether it's a gun or a sword, all weapons are his to control. I have no way of attacking him. Today's a good day. President and Rompo both forgave me despite knowing my sins. I was the one who couldn't forgive myself. But today, you came to take revenge on me. And thanks to you, I'm no longer lonely! It won't work! I get the feeling that you can't stop an explosion with your ability, can you? I'm gonna save the agency and accept my punishment at the same time! Huh? What in the world? It's not a bomb. A metal mannequin? Was the enemy never even here? No, he couldn't have fought that way. Not without seeing me. So the enemy's been watching from close by the whole time. Hold on a second. I remember this mannequin from somewhere. It's the one I saw in the window.
Excellent work.
Hunting dogs. Suddenly I understand. Now I know how they were able to follow me so accurately through the underground port mafia maze. And how the enemy passed through the door. And why the bomb was fake. There can only be one possible answer.
As a former medic in the Gifted War, who knew better than you that your superior, Ogai Mori, was a dangerous man? I never would have expected that the undercover agent we sent to watch over him would prove to be so useful to us.
You know, when you told me earlier that you had to work as a grunt for some serious crooks, I guess I just simply assumed that the powerful organization you were talking about was the Port Mafia.
No. I am the 5th hunting dog. Undercover agent Michizo Tachihara. And the soldier you killed 14 years ago was my older brother.
That was your older brother?
You see, if it weren't for you, I never would have had the chance to see my little brother or my parents ever again.
When Sakaguchi, the previous agent, left, the military police decided to send another agent into the Port Mafia, but I asked for this assignment specifically. I was sure that I could get close to you if I became a member of the Port Mafia.
Here's what happened. The Decay of Angels framed the detective agency. While you were trying to warn us about their trap, the enemy captured you. We used the eyes of God to find you, so that we can get you out of here. Kyoka, have you dealt with the guards?
Demon snow knocked them out cold.
Well, Mushitaro, it's time we all escaped.
I refuse. Huh? You just want me because of my knowledge of the Decay of Angels, isn't that right? But I have no need for you or your agency at all.
But still, don't you want to get out of this prison?
I'm quite familiar with being locked up by now. Besides, there's nothing for me anymore, not in the outside world anyway. Even if I leave, he's still not.
The manuscript. Rompo told me that you wouldn't be able to resist that word, and it looks like he was right.
It would be enough just to publicize the true story behind this manuscript.
Is that a threat? You've become a true criminal organization now, haven't you?
That may be how it looks, but I'll become anything and do anything as well in order to save the agency.
I see. Then you must be aware that what you're doing right now will be conceived as being tantamount to bank robbery. After all, we're inside a government bank. Breaking in alone is a serious crime. Oh, whatever.
I will do as you want me to.
You really mean it? Thank you.
The escape route is this way.
The manuscript! That was the last remnant of Yokomizo's life, with which he entrusted me. How dare they use it against me? Wretched bastards! I ought to let the guards take them out. Which means I need to make us as noticeable as possible. Yeah! My stomach is killing me! Are you alright? Not at all! I'm afraid I might be a goner!
Okay, fine. I know of an acupuncture point that works on stomach pain, and all it takes is a good jab 3 centimeters above the head bone.
I'm all better! It works so well you feel better before you get jabbed.
Glad to hear it.
Oh, you little brat! I'm not done yet.
This way is bad! This hallway is aligned with the Kabbalistic astrology sign Taurus! Do not tread this evil path, you foolish normies!
I know an acupuncture point that works in Kabbalah.
The alignment's all better now!
Such a powerful acupuncture point.
Glad to hear it.
Yes, this is Group C. Yes. Understood. On our way.
What's going on?
The guards are leaving. What the?
Please, no, Detective.
Manager, sir. There's a wanted man hiding somewhere within this building. Please cease operations immediately and grant us blanketed access security authority.
Sir, the bank has been surrounded.
Good work. We've assessed the target's special abilities. Now hunt them down.
What's the problem?
The Special Operations Division surrounded us.
It's him! Oh shit! What is he doing here?
Who is that guy?
Hongo Sakaguchi. If that man manages to catch us, we're all doomed for sure. Are you aware of an organization called the 7th Agency? They specialize in cleaning up crime and engaging in cover-ups.
I've heard of it. When Fyodor was able to rescue you from your confinement, and he demanded cooperation during the cannibalism in return.
Hongo Sakaguchi is the leader of that crime organization.
That's impossible. Hongo Sakaguchi worked for the government.
Do you still not understand? The government is the one who created the crime organization. The 7th Agency is the government's shadow. There were documents on political crime cover-ups, using illegal tactics, removing any damaging rumors, and it was my job to delete the evidence on all of these things. There's no doubt if captured, I will be held in captivity until the day that I die, and you two will be erased forever.
If that's true, then this trap will be brutal. The Special Operations Division team focuses on dealing with Gifted, and even the Port Mafia fears them. If found, they'll bombard us with poison gas and explosives, and that'll be it.
So then we just need to avoid being found.
Huh?
You don't really know who I am, do you?
Walk with pride in your step.
Something wrong?
No, nothing.
Impressed? If we walk with stolen goods and use my special ability to erase evidence of crime, we magically vanish from any kind of surveillance video that's recording us.
That's cool. No wonder Rambo struggled against this ability. Kyuka, hide!
The targets we're looking for are in this area. There are Gifted who can dismantle walls and ceilings. Secure the perimeter with caution.
It's Hongo Sakaguchi.
But how? My ability is perfect at hiding us.
Well, this is not good. The hallway ahead is a dead end filled with vaults. There's nowhere to run.
Wait, what if we hide in one of the vaults?
Too dangerous. We'd be trapped like rats.
They're coming.
There's no time. If they find us, we're doomed. What do we do?
It's like you're trapped in a room. One without an exit. Just like a locked room. It'd make for an entertaining mystery if the criminals somehow vanished from here. What do you think, Mushitaro? Don't you agree?
You two. Come with me.
Targets acquired. They're escaping into a vault.
Neutralize the enemy. Gifted combat squad, advance! Explosives planted. Breach charges set. Detonate! Breach! Command, there's no one here. The targets have vanished.
What do you mean?
There's no sign they've dug through the walls or ground. How can this be? There isn't even a sign they've used special abilities. They've vanished without a trace.
See that? Special operations!
Are you okay? That was nothing. Just a classic vanishing act that I perfected years ago. What they saw was the moment Demon Snow closed the vault door. We were, in fact, hiding in an open vault closer to the exit.
And in the moment of the attack, Kyoka released Demon Snow and we escaped.
It's psychological trickery, taking advantage of the expectation that only a bunch of fools would actually hide in an open vault. The smarter you are, the more likely you are to fall for it.
That was amazing. How'd you come up with that under so much pressure?
Oh, well, I didn't come up with it. Years ago, someone explained it to me.
Who was that?
Hide in the room next door. Ridiculous. Would it even count as a trick?
You couldn't figure it out, could you, Mushitaro?
We debated thousands upon thousands of times. It seeped into the very fiber of my being. Yokomizo, were you actually always there? Can I always meet you? In a closed room somewhere?
Life seems exciting and fun around you these days. I'm sure that this is much better for your well-being. Better than writing dull letters.
Shut up, you lousy sellout.
You okay, Mushitaro?
Now we just need to steal a car and go on the run. Of course, before we run, we have to erase the evidence of having stolen a car using my ability. That way, the footage from the security cameras placed throughout the city will make any video of us stealing a car vanish into thin air.
You sure are something else.
This sewer line will take us to a parking lot far away from where the guards are stationed.
I'll handle it. I'm gonna go in first and check it out.
Hey!
Tell me, grenade!
Unacceptable. I can't have you thinking you can deceive me that easily.
Impossible! How did you find us?
Anko, please listen. The armed detective agency is innocent. The real enemy is the decay of angels. I need you to understand. Believe me.
There. I understand. I have special abilities too. My special ability allows me to extract memories residing in objects. I use this bundle of stacked bills to determine your escape route. My ability helps me learn about the crime scene. Therefore, I can be certain the detective agency is guilty, and a member stabbed Chief Tanada.
Rambo said the government has a gifted who has the ability to read the memories of an object. He also said if we're captured, we're bound to be executed.
You'd really beg a secret government organization to believe you. The agency's jokes have never struck me as funny.
I underestimated the Special Operations Division.
Commander, where are the targets?
They got away. They escaped through the manhole. They're using the Tiger's special ability to navigate west. Secure the whole area.
Yes, sir!
This will convince Fiona that we are, in fact, actual enemies.
So you believe me that the detective agency is innocent? Because you really seem to hide it well.
Let me put it this way. You saw Dasai's message back when you were in Francis's office. I was actually the one who sent that message.
Huh? So then...
Osamu Dazai and I have been cooperating since the very beginning. I'm Dazai's messenger while he's in a European detention center.
But if he's locked up, how's Dazai communicating with the outside?
All of the prisoners at the Merso detention center are implanted with a vital signs monitor in order to prevent escape. We have a system. Dazai has the ability to encode his messages within his heart rate, which I then use my government access to retrieve and decode.
You're saying he can control how fast his heart beats?
It's the type of party trick Dazai's so good at, no one would suspect a thing.
I don't believe you. You're an enemy. What was the point of your little charade back at the bank anyway?
There's no telling where Fyodor has his eyes watching. With my ability to read the memories of objects, I can pursue any escapee that leaves something behind. If I lost you, the enemy would be suspicious.
The enemy? The cunning 7th Agency is afraid of an unseen enemy?
That's the thing, Ushitaro. I'm guessing you've been told I'm part of the 7th Agency, or perhaps even that I'm their leader.
And what if I have?
It's simple. I have absolutely nothing to do with the 7th Agency at all.
You don't?
Fyodor lied in order to keep you away from me. That's how afraid he is of you and I talking. Let's continue this conversation elsewhere. I know a place we can go. We'll be safe there.
What's wrong with you? Are you out of your mind or something? What do you think you wanted? What type of trouble did you bring to my door?
Are you sure this place is really safe?
Only those that she decides to invite inside can enter. It's the safest place on Earth.
Wait, Lucy, why are you suddenly working with Ongo now?
I really don't think that's any of your business.
I'm protecting her.
Hey!
One day, she barged into investigation headquarters. Atsushi's not evil. There's no way he's a murderer, she said maniacally.
Stop! Don't tell him what I said!
Wow, that's very kind of you. Thank you, Lucy.
Can we put aside all that for a moment? As you might know, Ongo, I was once captured by an organization that forced me to help cover up their crimes. That evil organization was called the 7th Agency. With that in mind, can you honestly say that you're not currently with them?
I'm not.
All right. Have you ever made use of their services for any reason?
A base and a command post.
The main objective of our mission is to prevent any terrorist attacks prior to the other side of the page being filled in, as well as recovering said page. But as wanted criminals, the agency can't act in plain sight. That's where her special ability comes in. Lucy will place the two of you in Anne's room, which you will be able to infiltrate completely undetected. Therefore, Lucy will be considered the heart of our operation.
Well, you heard him, didn't you? Right, Tiger Kitty? I believe the seer is saying that it wants you to say thank you.
Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
For getting you mixed up in this. Cooperating with us right now is the crime of aiding and abetting fugitives. I don't think we can ever repay you enough for your help.
Why not? If I'm not mistaken, I think I'm the one repaying an impossibly huge debt right now, aren't I? Nothing, never mind. Forget I said anything. I'm begging you to forget this whole
It's time to go.
Well, it's time to go. Take me to the airport bus stop, please.
Don't let anyone in until I say so.
Sir!
I trust that you are ready, Fukuzawa.
Yes.
Why would our reunion be anything other than a drinking contest between us?
You haven't changed at all, Genichiro.
What? How is it you still haven't gotten married?
I've been busy with work.
You stuck-up loner. I never would have thought you'd be the agency president. But now that you are, you have responsibilities. Make your men surrender to the police. That way the case will fall under the jurisdiction of the prosecution, and they will no longer be targeted by the hunting dogs. Because the hunting dogs will never relent or stop trying to tear you apart.
I appreciate the concern, but not the advice.
Well, I suppose I might enjoy duking it out with you again just like the old times.
What's making you stop?
You aren't fooling me, Fukuzawa. You were going to make me cut off your handcuffs, and then you'd swipe my own sword away from me.
You got me.
Fukuzawa, let's make a deal. I assume that you want to know what happened to your Kunikita, don't you? He fell out of a helicopter and blew himself up. But I happen to know where he went.
Don't bother. I know Kunikita is alive. If he were actually dead, I would have sensed it the very moment that it happened.
Well then, shit. The Lone Wolf sure has changed over the years.
There's no way you could possibly be the greatest.
Welcome to the cafe.
At the end of the day, your strength is the kind that screams to the world, hey everyone, look at me, I can beat up a ton of wild boars. But the hunting dog's job is about investigating and arresting.
So what?
So based on that criteria, I am the greatest hunting dog there is.
Seriously?
I want to kill you so badly!
What can I get you to?
Cafe latte.
Soy sauce latte.
Very good, gentlemen. Soy sauce?
Just give him the same thing as me. Let's you and I make a bet. Whichever of us finds the detective agency's whereabouts first wins.
Okay, you're on.
So are you two with the police department?
Yes. We're investigating a case right now. Oh, speaking of which, the heinous terrorist organization, the Armed Detective Agency, had offices right above this cafe, did it not?
Yes, I saw them here on occasion now and then. It's also terrifying. Here you go.
This woman's a waitress here, isn't she?
Yes, today happens to be her day off. Do you need something from her?
According to our information, she's very close with the detective agency. We have reason to suspect she's aiding their escape.
They wouldn't get very far depending on a lowly waitress for their chance at getting away from the police.
Fantastic. I have true admiration for people who can make good coffee. I almost want you to come work at the commercial facility I own. Sadly, though, there's only one problem. At my place, I don't like to hire dirty, stinking liars.
Me?
I can tell from the sound of your breathing. You just told me that the detective agency wouldn't get far depending on a lowly waitress. But that was a lie, wasn't it? You know all about her special ability, don't you?
I'm sorry, but I don't know what you're talking about.
I understand you buy half a year's worth of coffee beans at a time. Despite you doing that, this coffee still has such a nice fresh aroma. How is that? It's because you stock your inventory in a room, where time can be slowed in a special ability space. That way you can keep a large quantity of beans fresh all the time. Would you like me to continue? You also told me that today just happens to be Lucy's day off from work. That's also a lie. In fact, she's taking an indefinite break. She doesn't know if she can come back at all. Yet you still let her ignore her job, because you understood that she's the only one who can save the detective agency. Now, here's the problem. You are now an accessory to an act of terrorism. If you still refuse to give up her location, I'll make sure that you'll never be able to make coffee again. Why did you stop my foot?
You have a bad habit of tormenting people and taking pleasure in seeing them squirm. Boss, is it wrong to want to repay someone you're dearly indebted to? I promise you, if you tell us where Lucy is at this very moment, she will not be questioned for any crimes. We have the authority to make that so. And a world in which a girl's honest intentions are rewarded is one that we ought to protect.
My problem is that Lucy isn't the only one I'm trying to protect right now.
The detective agency? All I can promise you is that they'll be given a fair trial under the laws of the land.
Oh boy. I just knew that this was going to happen.
I promise on my sword that if my promise is broken, I will cut open my gut. Please.
Lucy told me something. She said she wouldn't regret ruining the remainder of her life. But what I'm asking you to do is please save her future.
This I promise.
She went to the Sky Casino. That's where she'll be.
What a ridiculous construction this is.
Most people believe the civilian entertainment facility is just a front, and that it was really built by the winners of the war for surveillance and intimidation.
It would be both a physical and political catastrophe if this place were to be attacked by terrorists or something.
Sir, we have a problem. Terrorists?
That's right. We have reason to believe there are terrorists in this facility. And we have proof.
What kind of proof?
Sir, look here.
That woman is one of the terrorists.
She used her pocket dimension ability to bring them all in here.
Then send a search team to scour the casino.
It's no use. She can hide with them in the pocket dimension.
What do we do then?
We close the casino.
Unacceptable.
What did you just say?
Bastard! Do you have any idea how serious this is?
What a silly thing of you to ask. You're surrounded by directed resonance guns. They were made specifically to combat gifted. The sound waves affect the brain, causing loss of consciousness within 1 second and death within 10. Do either of you care to try them out?
You dare to defy the government?
The government? Under international law, this casino is outside the jurisdiction of any country's police. It's effectively an independent nation. Therefore, I am the law. If you want to spend your money here and then leave, I'm delighted. Otherwise, just get lost!
How dare you? Did you actually just tell me to get lost?
No.
Oh, shit. This area is secure. Careful who you tell to just get lost.
What the?
Sir, someone's blown up the landing zone!
What?
I guess no one's gonna be able to get out of this casino now! We're gonna split up and search this place! And you need to figure out what the agency's next move is.
Yes, ma'am.
An explosion? By terrorists? Stay calm. Our top priority is to keep our clients from panicking. Tell them it's an electrical failure and escort them all back to their hotel rooms. Client A4098 Lazarus is becoming unstable. Assign him some security. Client E2988 has a chronic heart condition. Alert the medical staff now.
Wow! I heard he memorizes all of his clients' names and characteristics instantly.
No wonder they always say he was the perfect choice to manage a casino.
Such a mild incident will be forgotten by next week. If you see a situation, deal with it.
Yes, sir!
This couldn't have gotten any worse. I should have kicked the hunting dogs out. They must be the ones behind the explosion, which means they're going to investigate the casino. If they find out what this casino really is in actuality, I will have to kill them.
No signs of evidence on this floor either. Huh. What's that? A gold coin. The detective agency. They must all be hiding inside of that room. I don't sense anyone in here. They must have noticed me coming and escaped to the pocket dimension. The carpet has been cut. There's something here under the floor. A safe. Metal manipulation. Currency from around the world. All in coins.
How? How did they know? How could the hunting dogs have found it? Impossible. Did he just manage to stumble into that particular room by accident? Okay, stay calm. Their communication devices and weapons. They were confiscated along with the other customers. Which means that if I kill them both now, I can still protect the secret.
Sigma, I'll give you a word of advice as a colleague. If you're ever found out by the hunting dogs in the middle of one of their missions, then abandon everything and run away. Believe me, you won't stand a chance against them.
Abandon everything? The casino?
It's very odd. Are all of these coins completely hollow? No, there's something inside of them. Some kind of impurity in the metal structure.
I'm so sorry. It's over. From that distance, he has to be dead. A high-precision explosive disguised as a coin. It's the savage weapon at the center of the Decay of Angels' next worldwide terrorist attack. Now that one has seen it, I just can't send either of them home alive.
Whew, that was a close one for sure.
What?
I managed to stop the shrapnel with my special ability, but the blast was still able to knock me down. Hang on for a second, are all the coins in this safe miniature bombs?
I didn't finish him! Now what do I do? Wait. I still have my last resort available. However, using it will cause severe damage to the casino.
Believe me, he won't stand a chance against them.
Maybe everything he said was right. When I think of the decay of angels and all the superhuman members, I'm the one who has the least combat ability. If I'm not part of this casino, I'm nothing at all.
Wow! I heard he memorizes all of his clients' names and characteristics instantly.
No wonder they always say he was the perfect choice to manage a casino.
Everyone's got it all wrong. I don't have the talent they think I do. I have to sacrifice sleep to memorize things. I obsessively study client profiles and the casino layout. I don't want to lose the casino. Therefore, I must.
Are you serious right now? An unmanned aircraft? It's too big. I can't stop it with my mental manipulation ability.
Stand back. I always knew you were weak. He tried to challenge me to a sumo match. Silly airplane.
Oh, damn. You can't be serious. Haven't you done enough?
Hachihara!
What was that? Another explosion?
I see now. Coin bombs. What an exhilarating display of evil.
The customers take the coins out of the casino. Then, once they've been traded around the world, they'll all be triggered at the same exact time. This casino is actually a terrorist itself.
That's why that manager was in such a hurry to kick us out before we looked around and found something. This casino is where the trigger signal is transmitted from. A signal from such a high altitude would reach across the whole world.
What do we do?
We take the central communication room and expose the casino's plans to the entire world. Are all you boys that desperate to dance with little old me?
I hear fighting. The hunting dogs are on the move again.
And that is the decay of Angel's next plan. A global act of terrorism targeting all of humanity. But their true aspiration is the panic that will ensue. Currency, the basis of a state's trust, will kill people. Never mind the Great Depression. It could possibly trigger the next world war. This is it. The worldwide terrorism that the decay of angels will perform before they fill in the other side of that page.
As the first step in stopping this terrorist attack, we'll have the hunting dogs discover the coin bombs, and while they're busy, we'll take control of the comms room. By working with the hunting dogs to stop a terrorist attack, we'll prove once and for all that we couldn't be the terrorists. And we capture Sigma, who's a member of the Decay of Angels, and knows where the page is. That's exactly how Dazai's plan will work.
This is the hunting dog's combat power. This is what it means to be in a different league. But us nothings have our own way of fighting when our backs are up against the wall. They'll see.
Yes! We police must never hurt civilians, no matter what they do to us. But we're not gonna let them stop us either.
Right!
Where'd they go, lady?
Eh?
Did two people pass through here?
Hey! Take a look at this!
They went to the lower deck! Hurry, before they get away!
Tell our friends downstairs.
Right.
The enemy's downstairs!
I'm gonna get them.
Right. This is so bad.
What do you want? This area's restricted, lady.
Oh, really? I just wanted to know if we were getting flounder for dinner tonight.
Is that the reason you came all the way down here?
Oh, what did I want again? Oh, I remember. I remember everything now. I wanted to beat the shit out of you criminals.
Excuse me. Can I please get out now?
You know, I think you should come to the next company party like that.
I never want to see this chair again!
My special ability allows me to control and manipulate your age. Now, I'll ask you before you become hard of hearing. What info do I need to get past that door and take over the central control terminal? Don't worry, I won't kill you. I'll stop when you develop advanced painful arthritis of the joints.
That's the most feared special ability held by anyone in the hunting dogs. Even the toughest people can't stand the torture of suddenly becoming old, or the reverse of being turned into an infant.
Please stop, I'll tell you anything. The control terminal is locked. It has to be reset with a key. The manager has the only one.
Good. There'll be more security coming soon. It'll be your job to stop them.
What will you be doing?
I'm going to be taking the king's head off.
Sigma's the most powerful because he has no memories? In that case, the waitress at the coffee shop would be the strongest ever. She's always forgetting what orders I give her. Anyway, no matter how powerful you think Sigma is, the hunting dogs are in a totally different league.
League? It's not just the hunting dogs that are in a separate league. Even you and I are in a far lower league than Sigma, in my humble yet correct opinion. Whereas you and I have blood, what runs through Sigma's veins is sorrowful music. His alienation is absolute. The Sky Casino is the only thing that shares that with him, and part of the reason he clings to it so. He can't afford to lose it.
No, he can't.
Right. Sigma was born 3 years ago, when he was first written into the book. Just like that, out of nothing.
Impossible. Can such a thing really be called a human being?
Wouldn't you like to have a home of your own? He even gave himself his own name. Sigma. And he finally has a place to call home. The Sky Casino.
Good day to you, Mr. Manager. Are you ready to surrender?
I am not. I could never be.
Well, don't expect me to give you much time to decide. Because in a moment, I'm going to destroy that communication device of yours and save the whole wide world.
This device is a mere terminal. The trigger signal cannot be stopped without this key. It's the only way to override the system.
Yeah, I know that. All right, have it your way.
Don't get me wrong now. I'll give you the key. To be honest, I wanted to just run away in tears. But if I don't stop the hunting dogs, the casino will be ruined. The enemy is the strongest special force in the country, and I'm just an ordinary man. It's time! Fire! I will prevail.
Kyoga! I can hear fighting below us. It's starting now. It must be the hunting dogs. They got here sooner than I expected. We need to join the fight soon, or Dazai's plan will be ruined.
You ought to be able to scale down the building to the bottom floor using your tiger claws. You should go. Leave this to me.
Impossible! She's deflecting with her bare hands! No, not even the hunting dogs can hold up against this for long. Cooking knives. She must have gotten them from the kitchen. I'm not done yet. I can start up another gun.
Forget it. If we're being honest, you never had a chance to begin with.
You're right. As you can plainly see, I'm not much of a man. But all is still going perfectly according to plan.
I directed resonance guns.
I doubt you can lift a finger. The acoustic waves are entering through your ears and creating bubbles inside your brain. And this gun's been modified to be 5 times as powerful. Feel that, hunting dog? All this is the power of my determination! Unbelievable! How can he stand? It doesn't make sense! This output level should wear down even Hunting Dog's brain!
Is this the power of your determination? Then let me ask, what makes you think that you're the only one who has strong determination?
Blood coming from
sounds from infiltrating your brain.
While I have your attention, I have a little story for you. The hunting dog's superhuman physical prowess is the direct result of surgery carried out by doctors who had their very own special abilities. But we need monthly follow-up surgeries, and if we miss even one, our flesh rots and we die.
Why would you go so far with such an inhuman procedure?
We are the result of this country's order. Without order, those who thrive through violence would soon conquer the people. I will not tolerate such a vile world. That's the reason why the hunting dogs employ maximum violence. Because as the slaves of society that we were created to be, we will never spare ourselves from order's flame! This is your final warning. Surrender now.
I will not. There's no wall that even a mediocre man can overcome with enough desperation.
How right you are. The desperation of a mediocre man is indeed terrifying. But what is there beyond that? Do you not understand? Beyond the wall that a mediocre man overcomes with desperation is a battle against a genius who is equally desperate. It becomes a battle where desperation no longer holds relative value. Welcome to living in our kind of world.
I understand it well. I don't stand a chance. Both the casino and I are doomed. And if that's the case, I may as well save at least one!
What? Is he going to die with me just to protect the casino?
I've got you.
Where does this man get so much strength from? I can't catch him alive.
Be careful. We're at the casino's foundation, above the power box. If you fall again, you're finished.
You're with the detective agency. Why did you save me?
Why? Why else? The only way we can save the agency is to obtain the page. And I need you alive to tell me where that page is located.
Even if I knew, do you think I would tell you?
Yes, I do.
Using my unique special ability, I can read the location of the page from your mind.
It's the man from Special Ops. I'm very sorry, but I've taken measures against your ability.
Then we'll simply have to hurt you until you tell us what it is we want to know. You're the man who stabbed Chief Tanya. I have no intention of showing you mercy.
I didn't intend to stab him. I only wanted to threaten him. Ask whatever you want. I can't do this anymore. In the end, I'm no closer than I was than at the beginning. I never did find my reason for being.
Atsushi, this is the final mission. Please deliver Sigma to the surface.
I understand. No way! Here and now? Is this the moment you choose, Fyodor?
Atsushi, be careful. He's going to kill you in order to save his own ally.
Guilty.
Sigma, be strong!
It's fine. I never really believed it would end any other way than this. Atone for your sins. Let me go, or you'll die too.
No! You told me that you never figured out the reason for your existence. Well, that just can't be what a person is thinking at the very end of their life!
You're a kind man to say that. But it's fine.
No, don't!
I've done all I can as an ordinary man.
Lucy, please look down.
What?
Right now!
It's him!
Please throw him a rope, or something he can grab onto.
I don't have anything like that.
Do anything.
Wait, I have another way. You better gather my bones if I fall. Atsushi!
Looks like we were able to make it.
Thank you. You saved me. Look out! How'd he get in here? A thin string of blood. He must have tied this to me, so he'd be transported along with us. Now what?
It's over. Because now, he's entered into my kingdom! As long as you remain in this room, there's nothing you can do that will hurt Anne. I did it! I finally captured Nathaniel! We've beaten him!
No. We've lost. We've lost because we let Sigma die. We no longer have a way to locate the page. What's worse, the hunting dogs have seen you attempting to save Sigma. They'll perceive this new information as the detective agency working in conjunction with fellow terrorists. I'm afraid this all went according to Fyodor's plan. We have all lost.
You're unbelievable.
Me? I haven't done anything. I simply sat here and prayed while you watched. And as I'm sure you know, my prayers always reach God.
So even the coin bombs were a decoy. Just a means to draw the hunting dogs and the detective agency to the casino. But why?
It's more beautiful that way, is it not?
I have got to gain information on these terrorists. What is this?
I will share the truth of this case with you as I know it, in hopes that you are a sensible person.
Detective agency.
The masterminds behind the terrorist attacks are 5 gifteds called the Decay of Angels. They've stolen a device known as the Page that amends reality, and they used it to smear the detective agency with their crime.
I suppose that you've been quite busy spreading a web of conspiracies yourself lately. But God prefers perfection and harmony. Thus, in accordance with God's will, I took action. I was obliged to add a particular line to the page.
Tachihara, have you found anything?
And as the final stage of their plan, they intend to write the demise of the entire state onto the back of the 2-sided page. That is the full story of the worldwide terrorism attack.
Tachihara, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing. Just more false information meant to throw off the investigation.
A method to ensure that they don't believe in the agency's innocence.
Yes, all law enforcement and investigative bodies that happen upon evidence of the detective agency's entrapment will dismiss it, without consideration of its potential merits whatsoever. That's what I wrote on the page. In other words, the plot to get the hunting dog sympathies on your side was futile to begin with.
They want me to infiltrate the Port Mafia one more time?
Yep, I've gotten in touch with the surface. The detective agency has crossed the line with their little coin bomb scenario. This is no longer considered to be a state's criminal matter. The whole world's gonna be on their ass, which means we have to be the ones who finally wind up catching them. Tachihara, infiltrate the Mafia once more, and find out where the last 2 detective agency members have run off to. Are you reluctant?
No, it's just that these days I've been getting strangely annoyed dealing with the Port Mafia.
You have? You understand that with your special ability, you were practically born to do undercover investigations. You did it before when you eliminated the Mafia members who were attempting to aid the detective agency.
I guess
Tachihara, I'm glad to see you made it. I heard you were stabbed in the gut.
It wasn't as bad as it sounds.
It wasn't as bad for us either.
Yes, despite my spectacular bloodshed, the wounds were rather shallow. It was as though the entire attack on us was nothing more than one big act.
What was the point? So everyone's still alive because we were all going easy on each other?
Oh, you bastard!
Hey, old man. In your opinion, do you think I'm cut out for the Port Mafia?
You don't actually know anything about God, do you?
Teach me, I'm listening.
God wants perfection and harmony. That's what you think. God cares more about your pores than he does that. He's famous for his coincidences and absurdism. I've seen it countless times. No matter how masterfully we devise and implement our schemes, you and I are still here sitting across from each other, in a prison at the ends of the earth. But the ones who really run this world are the ones who howl, run, and shed blood. A whirlwind of incidental storms. And where does that leave the two of us? Powerless against their intense spirits. Do you know what that ultimately means, Fyodor?
Tatiana, you are the Mafia among Mafia. Your rashness, your hot-headedness, your valor. You're a model for the Port Mafia, setting an example for the rest of us to follow.
Then why am I feeling this way? I infiltrated the Port Mafia to take revenge for my brother. No, that's an excuse. I wanted to become someone on my own. Someone who was neither my brilliant brother or his opposite. That's why I spared the doctor.
只依靠阴阳术，对吧？败在本小姐手下是你的荣幸。
感谢。
关键时刻呀！不能只依靠阴阳术，对吧？
再上他！
冒险还没完呢。好方便呀！去那里。
暗域即将蔓延。
没有意义。
基因之力，毁灭一切。
充满了阴阳之力。
Get going.
Omniages need healing too. That feels much better.
Rest in peace and honor at least.
Omniages need healing too.
Dù rất nhớ em, ngày đó khi ta bắt đầu, mình hứa bên nhau dài lâu.
Nice to be the one being
Nhưng
healed.
giờ đây em đã quên, em quên hết rồi. Nhưng ngày khi không có anh, em sẽ thế nào? Và rồi khi không có em, anh sẽ ra sao? Mặt đắng trên môi lúc này, nhìn mưa nhớ em từng cơn. Thôi thì phải tập thói quen, bước đi một mình. Ngày xưa ta cùng nhau trải qua, biết bao thăng trầm, bỏ qua tất cả sống vì nhau. Nếu chẳng
这些东西太有用了，好想知道它们是怎么被做出来的。
魔。
冒险还没完呢。
即将迈入。
本小姐才不会就这样倒下。